Some may find the following disturbing. Discretion is advised.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar. You can listen with your whole family.
Fucking pot
You are.
I'm super excited about him. I'm wanting to work with him for a long time. My hero.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Draft Dr. Phil, of course, you know.
Third and one. How about we won?
A play.
There's Barroom.
Below average. I mean, there's no other way to say it other than that. Now, do I think the support system, the talent, I don't want to say the talent. I don't think the offense had an identity, one, which is really hard to be successful as a quarterback when, there's no great aspect of your offense. And people might go, well, why does that matter? Well, it does matter. To have an identity of an offense, it's a jumping off point to go, okay, when things are tough, we can always rely on this because we're really good at doing it, right? Also, what it does is a defense goes, this is their identity. We need to put all our eggs into stop that identity basket. And then off of that, when you have an identity like that, you're able to do now curveballs off of it. Oh, we do this, but we have this to keep you, balanced.
With all the I formation?
Did you even have that many I formation plays?
No.
Like look at Shanahan. Shanahan's famous for his outside zone scheme, right? But how many plays does he have where they reverse or he tosses to the receiver coming around to keep people honest from his identity, which is his zone running scheme?
It's Bear 100 Pro.
The O-line, I'm looking at the staff here in Chicago now, and it's a great staff. It's a lot of good names. It's a lot of quarterbacks is what you see, like with the addition of Laser. If a coaching staff was comprised entirely of offensive linemen and defensive linemen, I wonder what that playbook would look like. I wonder what the team would be built like. Run the damn ball, as Quentin Nelson would say.
Fuck a play.
I call it the Rolodex play. Oh, I like that one. I like that one. Okay, you like them, but why? Just because they're cool plays? No, good offensive coordinators, to what you're saying, tie plays together. Just in my experience with John Gruden or Josh McDaniels, Kyle Shanahan's a great friend. Yes, he's tying plays, personnel sets together, thoughts that he knows, the defense has seen this for 2 or 3 plays out of the first 7 or 8 plays, and now I'm going to throw a curveball because they're going to be honed in on that, and now I'm going to, throw a, hey, screw you, here comes this, and you weren't expecting it type play at them. And that's what a good offensive coordinator does. And yes, I just feel like Chicago was a little bit of a just dial it up. I got a lot of great plays. Hey, that's great. But other than like Detroit on Thanksgiving and a few other games, I didn't see any plays being tied together. In Detroit, I remember there was a few run plays, and then I went, they have some play action passes off those run plays, I love it. And people were running wide open over the middle of the field. And guess what? It was one of Trubisky's best days.
It's Bear 100 Pro.
There was a few games like that towards the end of the year where I thought, maybe Nagy has kind of found his mojo here, but it was just a little too late.
Yeah, there's a lot of that shit going on.
It's frustrating as a player.
It's Bear 100 Pro.
Because you can feel it as a player going, what are we trying to accomplish here? What are we doing? What are we wearing out on them? I don't feel like we're making them think. We have nothing to make them worry about. So you do feel that as a player. You especially feel it as a quarterback. And I'm sure Trubisky at times this year probably just felt like, I don't really know what we're trying to attack here. What are we trying to improve? What on them are we trying to attack? Or are we just running plays that coach said was cool and we practiced them on Wednesday and we're just going to run them on Sunday? Yeah, there didn't seem to be credence or correlation to why it was all being done.
Fuck a play. It's Bear 100 Pro.
There's an old song. They say, love the one you're with. Mm-hmm. Love the one you're with. So the guy I've been with is Mitch Trubisky. Mm-hmm. And he's shown me things that lead me to believe that we can win in Chicago with him. I understand that there have been possibly prettier girls that have come and passed, and we missed the opportunity on that. Mm-hmm. But are we going to sit here and cry in the corner about it? Or are we going to figure out how to surround the one that we've chosen and made Chicago's own?
I think this is a janitor at Hallis Hall. We're going to put the
things around him to make it successful. And if not, that's okay. Mm-hmm. But there needs to be a plan in place.
It's not
and
all
I think
on
that's
Mitch.
What Chicago is owed, a plan with or without 10. And I think people know where I stand on Trubisky. Mm-hmm. But it's also unfair to criticize a guy who was drafted to play in a system that runs the hell out of the ball and showcase his arm talent in the play action game outside the pocket.
Those are big
because if you
time
really
fucking
watch
throws.
the Bears, that's not what we're doing.
My draft Dr. Phil.
And that's a byproduct of personnel. And I'm not talking upstairs. I'm talking about the people wearing helmets.
The offensive
I
line
couldn't block. I
sucks.
wasn't healthy enough.
I'm
In the
sorry.
run game or the pass game. When I was healthy, when Josh Sitton was here, when we were rolling, when we were putting
My
up
draft Dr. Phil.
300 rushing yards in Baltimore, that's the offense that Mitch was meant to play in. Pound the friggin' rock and throw the ball downtown Julie Brown when everybody's in the box. And next thing you know, you've scored 40 points.
Along those lines, I have you at 8.6 yards per play out of the I formation.
I saw a lot of issues with throws this year. The first thing is, hey, imagine you're standing on a clock. This is my biggest issue with Trubisky more times than not. You're standing on a clock, and you want to throw the ball to 12 o'clock, which is straight ahead, right? Man, Mitch Trubisky is the king, and I want to throw the ball at 12 o'clock, but my feet step to 9.
Surprise, motherfucker.
The tape never lies.
Trubisky, play action to the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Anthony
You
Miller.
ask me, despite the fact that Trubisky threw 2 interceptions, he played toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers today, and I would venture to say that he even outplayed Aaron Rodgers.
Was the big point to me. When Akeem Hicks went out, it just was one less guy that when you were playing the Chicago Bears, he had to worry about. The focus went on to, how do we stop Hicks and Khalil Mack? How do we not let them both ruin our game plan? To now, Hicks isn't there. All right, well, the one guy that can ruin our game plan is 52. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. Whether it's we're chipping with the back or always putting a tight end over him or 2 tight ends over him so he doesn't have the short edge, running the ball that way at him like that.
Why did the interceptions go down? Because teams identified, hey, we got to stop Mack.
Khalil Mack still had a really good year. I mean, he's still, I don't care what anybody says, he's still one of the best defensive players in the sport. Is it sexy and outstanding and, 18 sacks? No. But I always get back to this, there's a lot of plays that he won't get credit for on the stat sheet. I call them F the play up. He was responsible for ruining the play. He ruined it. He bust through the tight end and he got pressure on the quarterback and the quarterback had to run or scramble or throw it away or somebody else got the sack, but there's no stat for Khalil Mack to say you ruined it. Or he took a double team on the run in the run game and pushed the 2 guys 3 yards in the backfield. Okay, now the running back was going to run over there because I got a double team, and he had to go somewhere else, and Danny Trevathan gets a tackle, and I'm going to go, that's great he got the tackle, but the play was made by Khalil Mack. And I think too much right now, fans are getting obsessed with stats and things like that. But when you're the focal main stud, and there's no other studs around you like that are at least compromising you game plan wise, that's what a team does. They're going to look at it and go, okay, here's their scheme. Okay, what about the Bears can beat us? And the first thing they're going to go to when they play Chicago is go, 52 can ruin our game. How are we going to stop him?
Because I watch the tape and I see what Khalil Mack is drawing the kind of attention, and that's where you should become a star. We're like somebody opposite of a Michael Strahan. Oh shit!
Khalil Mack can be whatever he wants to be, and we've all seen that. But like any other player in the league, you need players around you. And when a guy like Akeem Hicks, I think he's one of the most dominant players in the NFL, and he's an unsung hero. If he gets dinged up and can't be in the game, then you need to have another bell cow in there to say you can't throw 6 guys at Khalil.
3rd and 17. Max strips it. He is unbelievable.
You are listening to Bears Barroom Radio.
Yeah, I've tried to block it. I've been out there, and it looks like blur. It looks like a 350-pound blur in front of your face. But when he's off the field, the drop-off is big. So when you ask about Khalil, I'd say he needs a supporting cast like anybody. You throw LeBron in Cleveland, early LeBron days, he's going to get you to the finals, but I don't know if he's got the horsepower and the gun power to be able to take it.
But then put a bunch of guys around him, and it's
Put some guys around him, and you watch Khalil Mack get 40 sacks.
It's Bear 100 proof.
Bears 100 proof.
Bears Barroom.
Bears Barroom. Bears Barroom.
Bears Barroom.
Bears Barroom.
Bears 100 proof.
Bears Barroom.
Bears Barroom. Bears Barroom.
Bears Barroom.
Bears Barroom.
Bears Barroom.
This is Bears 100 proof.
You are listening to Bears Barroom Radio.
And we're going to talk about that sensational open that you heard at the beginning of the show. Lots of material there to bounce off of, and we will talk about a number of other subjects. My name is Aldo Gandia. I serve the drinks in this raucous, rowdy Roadhouse bar. But don't you worry, the stars of our show are here. They are, of course, Draft Dr. Phil Atoshin and Johnny the Tooch Santucci. That's right. My man Shayne Marsaw is ill. We'll talk more about that in a second. I'm going to spin the bottle here to find out who am I going to talk to first. The bottle spins, and it is Draft Dr. Phil!
Oh, I won the Iowa caucus. I'll tell you that.
The votes are
building that open. They should fucking vote me for president.
I hear you. That was sensational. Now, that clearly that was Kyle Long on ESPN's Dave Kaplan show, Cap and Company. And then who was the other primary?
So that was Chris Sims talking about Trubisky and Mac on the Under Center podcast.
Okay, gotcha.
And I thought Chris just had been listening to 100 Proof and Last Call and chorusing us, Aldo.
Yeah, really.
It's like let's just show that this is where we've been talking about this since October, and I'm loving what I was hearing. You know, Chris Sims comes from a football family, does the work. You could say what it is or whatever you feel about any analyst, quite frankly.
Right.
You know, people hate me. That's fine.
Not you. Get out.
I know, not the Tooch. But
that's for sure.
Everybody else, people might secretly hate me. You ever have one of those friends? I think we all do.
Oh, yeah.
That they want you to fucking lose.
Yep.
I fucking hate. Like, I've never felt that in my body. Like, I looked at Steph the other night and I was like proud of her. But like anybody, like I'm looking at Greg Braggs on a show and I'm proud, I'm proud of that. Anybody having success that I consider a friend, I'm happy for them. Yeah. Have I had envy? Yes. I wish I was a millionaire or whatever. But my goal to be that would only be to help other people. I guess that's why I'm fucking always on the bottom rung.
That's right.
But I've never, honestly, I've never like wished bad on a friend. But I've discovered in the last 10 years who your friends are.
Oh, yeah.
And you really, it's unfortunate. And that being said, I like Chris Sims better than Phil Sims, his dad as an analyst. I just think
for sure.
He's authentic. He does the work. I could tell he's studying the tape. We're step for step in what he was saying about Trubisky and Mac. And, I've said the same thing about Trubisky and Kyle. I mean, wow. Yeah. Kyle Long, we've said it when he was on the show with us. Mm-hmm. This guy, you said it. In fact, in that show, there's audio, maybe Tooch, our associate producer. This guy's stepping up. He went from producing bits to hosting, stepping in the batter's box for the smartest man in the bar room, Aldo.
I've always said Tooch had potential.
Tom Zach coming in and relieving for Shayne.
Well, before we continue, Phil, why don't you tell people where our man Shayne is right now?
Yeah, my boy is down and out. You know what? In this country, you hear a lot of that shit going on. Again, there's no script. I just ad-libbed that. I'm freaking proud of myself for hearing the shit drop there. And Joe, it wasn't a shit drop. It was actually literally, figuratively, a good drop of a shit drop. And that's what Shayne is dealing with now. And all over America, Aldo, people are coming down with this flu and this sickness. You got the coronavirus. I saw the meme with the Heinekens with all the face shields with one corona stand right there. Everywhere, the coronavirus. I got nervous the other day coming into work, Aldo, because I see a sign on the way into work. I work for the government. We're around a lot of people. There's a sign that says "Prepare for a pandemic."
Oh God!
They're giving you like things, like wash your hands, and all of a sudden, like 2 days later, there's soap dispensers on every corner of the office building. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then Shayne's texting me, I'm feeling sick. This person's sick. His son was sick. Steph said 38 kids from the school, right, that she teaches at went home from school sick. 73 in Hartford, they closed the school down. So, I don't know. It's getting scary out there.
It really is.
I just keep washing my fucking hands. I'm like, washing my hands.
I just hope Santucci's feeling well because he's got really big fucking shoes to fill.
Yeah,
and
our guy's down.
I gotta tell you,
I'm doing good.
Yeah, are you?
I'm happy.
Are you happy? Really? Are you? How could you be happy living in Iowa and they can't fucking count up there?
I'm surviving the embarrassment of the Iowa caucuses here in Des Moines.
Hey, I let a couple of friends know that you were going to be on, and they left me voice messages.
When I hear his show, I have a stream. I get a stream too. He's so sexy, so smart, so Italian. I want more Tooch. I want him now. I want him in me. Now and forever.
I don't like Tooch. I think he sucks.
He is not as bad as that other guy. Greg brags.
Was that Jim Larison?
That was a robotic Jim Larison. So you've got some fans who clearly want to make love with you. You got some who like to kick your ass.
Some people love you. Some people love to hate you.
That's right. Welcome to the club.
You are perfect for this show.
Ready to rock. I'm excited. Working alongside my two heroes, Draft Dr. Phil and the Godfather.
I thought I was your only hero. Now I'm sharing.
Well, loud one. Well, it is Iowa.
You're only allowed one.
We got a new visitor in the chat room. Let me scroll up and find his name. It is, where the hell? He's calling from Woodstock, Illinois. It is Bass. V.A.
Vagrant. Bass or Bass?
Bass, I guess. B-A-S-S.
Yeah, I thought he might play the bass, you know?
Yeah, maybe. He's from Woodstock, and so he's been following us on YouTube. This is his first time in the chat room.
Oh.
So I encourage...
You're in for a ride.
Yeah, he really is.
He's a fucking idiot.
Come on, Mom. He's a guest.
I love Woodstock. I've been out there a few times coaching baseball.
Really?
Coaching baseball in Hanover Park. Used to love to play out in that field. Took the kids, the team out there.
Nice.
And remember talking to the other coach. Came up to me before the game, and he's like, "Hey, I played Little League in Hanover Park too, and their team was like 10-6. My team was like 6-10.
Mm-hmm.
We played a little bit tougher division, and he's like, my kids are real excited. They're like, we're gonna kill Hanover Park, and he said, I told them, they play in a tougher division now. You better not be too cocky. We end up slaughtering them and going home, But the division we played in was really tough. We loved driving out there and going down on the square. And of course, there's a hot dog place over there. I think it's called Tommy's.
Tommy's.
Take kids after the game. Tommy's. I think it's called Tommy's hot dogs. Soft serve ice cream.
Sorry,
beautiful square downtown Woodstock, Illinois.
Oh, awesome, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the smartest man sick with the flu.
Yeah.
He did text me that he's getting better, a little better. So that's.
I texted him. I didn't know he was sick. It took him a long time to get back to me. So I said, "Is this what it feels like getting bragged?" He finally got back to me. I wish him well, though.
Oh man, there's nothing fucking worse than having the bubants as they call it.
Well, what do you think of some of these things, Al, though, that you heard from Kyle Long? I thought it was very revealing.
Yeah.
Especially where he's saying that, you drafted this guy. He's almost calling out Pace a couple times because he's like, hey,
absolutely,
I owe it to the guy because he gave me a fucking contract when I was basically hurt.
Right.
And that's kind of what Shayne mentioned last week. It kind of like puts a red flag up on Pace because that's not good business.
Nope.
And he also said, you drafted this guy to go downtown Julie Brown to do the things offensively that you see basically the San Francisco 49ers are doing, as opposed to what Trubisky's had to do in switching the offense. I mean, we saw it firsthand, Aldo. On last call, we would call it out where this coach is going away from things that are working for him. And it's very revealing to me that here you have this, he was the face of the franchise, calling out, not in a negative way, but just truthful. I mean, you want transparency. This kid's trying, you can't hate on him, break through in a field full of, Alex Brown, Matt Forte. I think these guys are horrific watching their shows. I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Where Kyle Long is not. I mean, I think he's electric and he's honest without bias. He's coming from a truthful place. Even his character and singing the song and saying what he said about Mitch, I thought spoke so well of him, but the way he articulated it, and as well as his articulation of Khalil Mack, really a standout.
Phil, you should have studied to be a real doctor.
I'm totally with you. First, on the point where Kyle Long definitely has a big future in the world of broadcasting. He's going to end up being up there on the national TV shows, just like his dad, Howie Long, because he's interesting. He is interested. He articulates well. He's provocative. He shares opinions that he's not afraid to lay it all out there. In fact, if I have one prediction to make, is that he will probably make some mistakes in terms of maybe letting go of an F-bomb or maybe saying something that might be political. Some people will consider politically incorrect because he's just so authentic and so real. And then as for his viewpoints on Ryan Pace, I mean, it was clear that he was taking a shot not only at Ryan but mostly at Matt Nagy. You were brought in here to work with a quarterback who does this, who can pound the fucking right. who's a quarterback that you use to pound the ball, to play action for certain play types, and then you're trying to fit him into your system. You are the fucking problem. I mean, that's how I read that, and I read it loud and clear. And I bet you Tooch feels the same way, right, John?
Yeah, I think it'd be great. He's a smart ass. He's a tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be great. But I think he's going to be competing against Jay Cutler now. I don't know if you saw Cutler's interviewing for some broadcasting jobs.
No,
too.
He's back to us.
In Chicago or
I don't know. It was on Twitter today.
Okay, let me look. Let me look for that.
I don't think they're gonna compete per se. I think they both have a place. I mean, Cutler, you can say whatever it is you want. The only reason I've even heard of the Cavalieri story or very Cavalieri is because Cutler is involved in it. And I have a buddy who works for the network that broadcasts that show, and he's like, "Yo, the directors and producers, more Jay. We need more Jay." More Jay.
Yep.
They got it down to a science to where the amount of viewers when he's on as opposed to when he's off or when he's even on the screen. So he's that polarizing. We saw it here firsthand in regards to the quarterback, the sportsman, the character, the fucking smoking Jay. He don't give a fuck. Diabetes, trade, everything. We lived through a soap opera. Now he has become the face of it. So I think if he gets into a serious role in football, he would be interesting. Now he had a job, Aldo. He was going to be with Charles Davis and the Greek guy. I always forget his name.
Yeah, isn't Kevin something?
Yeah, some shit. He's from Greek. No offense to Adam.
Bears Barroom breaking news. Well, that is indeed. The Tooch was right. Multiple networks are talking to Jay Cutler, according to Pro Football Talk. So, and actually, the original report comes to thebiglead.com. Jay Cutler has had discussions with ESPN and CBS about possible broadcasting jobs. He was, as Phil just mentioned, offered a job with Fox in 2017, but came out of retirement just before the start of the regular season to play with the Dolphins. So, I have, there is definitely room for Kyle Long and Jay Cutler. They're going to have different,
they're friends too, Al.
Yeah, they're very good friends, and that's one of
they were on the same broadcast.
Yeah, that would be good. And that's one of the things I love about Kyle so much is that he will go down for his quarterback.
Right. We don't get those guys there. I'm sorry. This fucking franchise pissed me off listening to it. You want to know why, Aldo?
Mm-hmm.
Because Phil Emery drafted the kid to play left tackle. Jimbo Covert, who I thought was the best left tackle I've ever seen in a Bears uniform, is in the Hall of Fame. Kyle Long won't probably ever make the Hall of Fame. But I'll tell you what, if they moved him to left tackle, I think he'd still be playing. He'd taken less of a beating. And to Aldo and my point at the time, that's what you drafted him for, and you fucks never did it. You move every other fucking piece except the right. You never move the right way. Like, I don't give a shit what anybody told me or the bloggers told me. I know football talent along the offensive line, and this fucking kid, Kyle Long, was the most freakish talent I'd ever seen inside.
Yep.
Put him outside. He fucking moved to right tackle 1 week before the start of the season. Shuts out Khalil Mack, Von Miller, playing right tackle at a disadvantage of reps. That's how talented. He was just doing it freakish strength and talent and athleticism. He admits that he never was the same after that injury. So what could have been, and by the way, let me just remind the new listener or anybody, Kyle Long got injured on a inside ISO play to the fullback, and a bob play, and the fullback who's blocking trips and falls on the back of Kyle Long's leg and completely destroyed it. That's how he got hurt. Inside. Had he been a tackle, he would have been turning out the end, and he'd be playing for probably still at such a high level. It just irritates the shit out of me, this team. And thinking about Greg Olsen getting cut and he's out there, this is a guy we traded that could have still been here and would have been the perfect fit in what Nagy's trying to do and what we need at tight end. These things just irritate me with this franchise, and that's why I'm like, tap the fucking brakes on Mitch Trubisky sucks and he's the only blame. And you got it all figured. You know you don't got shit figured out. These are the things that need to be constructed. I've had several people, hey, I respect you so much, but I just don't think Mitch is going to be it. I'm like, give this kid the competition this season. See what they do. They have to make moves at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Draft, free agency, whatever the fuck they do, and let this kid compete because the talent's there. If they're going to fucking kowtow to him and not bring competition, that's wrong. Coming from a guy that sees the great potential of this kid. And to what Aldo said that Kyle's saying, that Matt Nagy decided, my offense, my fucking plays. You heard Chris Sims joking in there, just like me. The Rolodex. What play am I going to... I've said that all season and last season.
Yep.
Nothing made sense. It never went off of what you're trying to do with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've never been able to use all this talent. And Aldo, after the show last week, it stuck in my head. It's like, I'm getting old. I want to see this. And I don't think we're too far away talent-wise.
Right.
This fucking coach has to set it right. And this GM. I know I went on a little fucking rant, but it just irritates me that I know how talented Kyle was and to see him on tape, you could have had those fucking answers in camp. You could have done all that. Greg, I'm paraphrasing. Kyle says, Aldo, I'm paraphrasing this, but it has to be said now. Greg is telling me over the phone he was trying to send me these fucking clips from Cap and company with Kyle today or yesterday.
Right. And
I'm paraphrasing this one because this is the one that stood out for me. They moved James Daniels over because they being the offensive line and everyone couldn't hear him make the calls. So no matter how long they worked with him, they couldn't hear his voice. He was too quiet.
Oh, my God.
So they moved him. But they didn't move him right after the bye, after they fucking, hey, when do you talk about this? They move him 3 weeks late. I can't make the fucking negligence up. I can't. I need that audio in my life. Apparently, they play the audio of, and we need to get Kyle, Barflies. Tag Kyle. We need a return.
Yeah, I actually just sent him a message in hopes that he would come on, but he hasn't replied. He's got an open message box, so I'm sure he gets about 1,000 messages in that box.
Yeah, that's why I want them to tag him in public.
That's the way to do it.
Say,
that's the way to do
Kyle,
it.
we need a return to Barroom. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest things is apparent, and I don't know what he said to this. I've just been told by J.R. Nike, Johnny Necrone, that they asked him, here's the audio of Matt Nagy. I didn't come here to run the I formation. And Kyle Long responds to it.
Yeah.
And I don't have the audio of that. How can that be, Chris Sandlin? Tooch. How does that? You guys are there in the Iowa-Chicago caucus. And I don't have any fucking audio of that? Oh, I get him on the show, Aldo. Holy fuck. Shayne is sick to his stomach because of this.
Oh, poor
I was
Shayne.
thinking about that very thing today. I was like, maybe James Daniels just doesn't know how to make the calls. Turns out he was the whisperer from Seinfeld.
50 protection. What are we doing here?
It's almost like Bears management doesn't know football, Phil.
Remember, Mitch didn't know the hard count. Daniels can't yell. They had to move Whitehair back in to center so he could be the man and the leader and make the call. Imagine how much chaos is going on, and you still won 8 games because of talent. I'm telling you, we're not that far away. And this coach was the number one 1A or B to the offensive line and the head coach to me last season. All these fucking PFF fucks want to put it on Mitch. Let him go there. But I can tell you, with doing all the fucking tape study that I did, I know in my heart of hearts that somebody who has football acumen, like Sims mentions Gruden, Shanahan, and there was another coach. Why am I fucking blanking on him? He mentions these coaches, and he's like, they would basically know what to do with Mitch. Go watch the tape, never lie. I'm yelling every fucking week. It works! You got tight ends running wide open because you ran out of the fucking eye and bootlegged out of it. You got people, that's okay to run that. The greatest quote for me in incompetence was me and Aldo after on last call when they're talking about the I formation and they had so much success. And I think it was against Detroit. And Nagy goes, yeah, well, you go over to the sideline and you figure that they're going to figure us out. And me and Aldo just look at ourselves like, figure you out? How about them fucking stop you first? You fuck. Like, that's kind of shit that just irritates me. So hopefully hiring Laser and D. Filippo and Barone and these guys that come in here, Juan Castillo, they don't let him get away from I've never heard a coach in my life say, hey, we're 8.7 yards we're averaging. Let's get out of it and try something else.
That's right. I got to do it my way. I don't care if we're getting almost a first down on every play.
Said no coach ever.
You can't make it up if you fucking... Tressman wasn't that fucking dumb. Tressman wasn't that dumb. You still had that fucking arrogant prick saying there was zero chance I'd run the football to move the fucking kick closer. Even after you realized you missed.
That's right.
You realize how dumb that is?
Yeah, he was flustered, I think, to give him the benefit of the doubt. Hey, you mentioned the when Trubisky didn't know the hard count on the Gruden training camp video series at ESPN.
Yeah, quick count.
There it is.
Perfect. 1-on-1. 90% of the time. Blue 85! Blue 85! Set! Perfect. You got it. If you want to go on a hard count, what would you say? Hard 2. Let me hear it.
Here we go. Hard 2, hard 2.
Blue 85! Blue 85! Set! Blue 85! Blue 85! Set!
And we run the play.
Now, if we go on a hard count, remember this. If we go on a hard count, we're going to try to get them to jump off sides.
Right.
So it's blue 85. Blue 85. Set hut! Hut! We're just giving
twice?
Yeah, give them 2 huts, all right?
Gotcha.
Dumbass. He's too busy kissing titties, I guess.
I haven't figured out what's going on yet.
Tooch, where's your confidence level with Trubisky?
It'd be great if we got him an offensive line that could protect. As soon as those 2 tackles, let loose their protection, even the play is blown in 1.5 seconds.
So you think that's the primary?
What's he gonna do?
You think that's the primary reason he's underachieving?
Oh, I think it was a big part of it, Nat, and the schizophrenic coach play caller. I mean, look at the 2 Super Bowl teams. Number 42 on the Chiefs, number 44 on the 49ers. They run the big fullbacks, clearing it out for running. Yep. I said, man, we should have a fullback. I recently watched an old Bears game, Suey and Peyton, and the first bunch of plays were scripted, and most of them were to Matt Suey, and he was as big a threat as any running back out of the backfield, catching the ball or running the ball, and blocking for Peyton. Why can't we have an extra threat like that? We need to get a nice fullback, just like Kyle Juszczyk on the 49ers. That guy had a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Almost had 2.
Some great blocks. Almost had 2.
Huge weapon.
We could do that with somebody on the Bears and mix up that playbook even more. Get Coach Nagy's head out of the Waffle House menu and get him head coaching instead of doing both things at one time, which I don't.
These seem like predictable run plays.
Yeah, they do. I agree with that guy. He's traveling in the snow now.
Hey, in about 20 minutes, I am going to dial up a college football.
Ding.
A college football player who came to my attention from our guest co-host here, Johnny Santucci, Rodney Clemons from SMU, safety, a very versatile
number 8
safety who got great reviews for his performance at the East-West Shrine game. He should be joining us hopefully in 20 minutes. I'll dial him up and we'll continue that interview. In the meantime, I wanted to get the guys to have a discussion about Tooch, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Super Bowl because I have not heard your feelings on the Super Bowl. Obviously, Phil and I talked at length about it on last call, but just your overall thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs and their win over the 49ers.
Well, a few things stood out. Basically, I thought I spent the whole 2 weeks before the game thinking Kansas City was going to kill them. I thought they'd win by 10 points. I never saw that line move. It was 1 point, Kansas City -1, then 1.5, then somebody dropped a $115,000 bet, moved the line up another half point. But then I listened to Mike North, and he was like, he kind of had me thinking, San Francisco had a chance. So I didn't place any money, but if I would have listened to my past self when I was earlier on in the week, I would have taken Kansas City. But I was afraid, they get behind like they did in their previous 2 playoff games. I thought it'd be a little harder against San Francisco. But San Francisco went to that soft zone defense after they got up 10 points, and Mahomes carved it up, Phil. That's, he's going to do that.
Are you with me or against me when I say that Damian Williams should have been the MVP of that game?
I'm okay with Patrick Mahomes as the MVP, but Williams played a great game as well. Yeah, I'm fine either way, but
I just feel like Williams was the one constant the entire game. He would have had more touches. He would have had better numbers. He was unstoppable. And Mahomes is he enabled Mahomes to come back and win this game. Mahomes played great. I'm a big fan of Mahomes, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
But Damian Williams, to me, if he doesn't perform at the level that he did as a running back and catching passes out of the backfield, this team, with that great San Francisco 49er defense, they would have had their way.
But nobody's buying Damian Williams jerseys.
That's for sure.
You got to have the story. I mean, the NFL MVP last year, the Super Bowl MVP this year.
Yeah.
NFL's about branding as much as it is about the game, and
you're right.
They've got to write the next story, the next chapter of young heroes. So
stars and rainbows, clovers and balloons.
Quiet, son. I'm doing a show.
All right, hey Tooch, you've got a little giveaway that you wanted to do on the show.
I do.
Can you and Phil kind of explain what is up, and then we'll put it up in the chat room and see if anybody can win this thing? Go ahead.
Yep. By day, Tooch works for the largest magazine publishing company in the world. By night, he's a podcaster. By Friday night, Kobe Bryant passed away, and we had 24 hours to turn out a couple tribute magazines. So I worked till 1:30 in the morning Friday, and I have a Kobe Bryant tribute magazine that we're going to give away to one of the barflies in the chat room if they can answer a Kobe Bryant trivia question.
Nice.
For those of you that don't know about Aldo's horniness, just feel free to tune into 100 Proof tomorrow.
That it is well documented. I am one horny old man, but please don't tell any of my loved ones that. So, do you want
Kobe Bryant giveaway tonight, Aldo?
Yeah.
Give a trivia question now,
Yeah,
or is
collector's edition. Whenever you guys give me the word, I'll give the question out, and the first one to get the question right.
Are we waiting for later in the pod to do this?
It's up
out?
to you guys.
Well,
it's your guys' show.
I would say let's do it now. We've got 15 minutes before Rodney joins us. Let's kind of set the stage now. We've got about 30 people in the chat room, so we could wait a little later and let more people in. But I say let's do it now. Let's reward the people who came with us early.
Oh, early bird gets the worm.
Exactly. And so this is going to be tough for all of you because I know that most of the people in the chat room are Bears fans, and Bears fans 1, 2, 3. And so when we dip into the world of basketball, a lot of you guys, start to lower the volume and go watch porn or whatever like that. But, hey, maybe somebody in your family would love this Kobe Bryant commemorative magazine. I've seen the cover, and it looks sensational. I'll be at the newsstand purchasing that thing when it's out. So whoever wins this thing will be very, very lucky.
I'll see if I can get you a free one, another one laying around at work, Aldo, before you go out and buy one. So
What's all the I formation?
They're $15 on the newsstand. So.
Oh, well, okay.
We're gonna save you $15.
Thank you. Swanky says he's gonna go watch some porn.
All right.
All right. What is so? Is it just one question, John?
Yeah, if they don't get it, I guess we can go to an easier question. How many too inebriated.
Aldo's gonna. How many do you have?
Monitor the chat.
How many do you have in your repertoire there? How many Kobe Bryant questions? Because maybe we should make it a multiple questions. They got to get both questions correct.
There you go.
Yeah, I've got 2 off the top of my head.
Okay.
And, probably, I got 3 off the top of my head.
All right, let's go with those 3.
Probably so.
So we'll go with 3.
All right.
Aldo, you're going to monitor the chat.
Yes, I will.
Real quick, Aldo. Did you
Should I go easy or hard first?
Oh, you start easy.
That's what you said, right, Aldo?
Yeah.
Always go easy first.
That's right.
Coach. I got to teach you this.
Easy.
I thought you
All
had
right.
to.
That's
Yeah. We got to build up the barfly confidence.
Then you go hard.
And you guide him.
That's Shayne.
That is Shayne. Poor guy. Poor guy. Listen to him.
You have to cue up the "Blame It All on Shayne" song.
Oh, we got that coming up.
Oh, you're always ahead of me. Look at you. Holy shit! How about this? Did you get
Jesus shit?
You get this shit? The intro I produced for this kid?
Oh no, you got that in the Dropbox?
Yeah, I sent it to the Dropbox.
All right,
see?
let me pull
We produce on the go here.
Yeah, this is unbelievable how we do this. It's like, I can't wait to hear this. This is,
yeah, wait for that.
Oh, there it is. Rodney C. intro. Oh my goodness, I like
little Texas vibe. You'll see.
Okay, good.
But let's get to this question.
All right.
Once again, I miss Shayne. I love you, Shayne.
You got Lane Marsaw, the dumbest man in the bar room tonight.
You got from Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines.
I love my boy Tino. My boy King. They're not sick.
Jesus, Shayne.
He's leaving voicemails for Aldo.
Oh, he is?
Aldo, do you have any friends that their voicemail box is full?
Yeah, other than my own.
Yours is not full.
Oh, okay, good. I've been doing a good job of keeping it.
I hate people that fucking keep their voicemail box full. It's like,
oh my gosh.
Delete your voicemail. Move through it.
Annoying.
Yes, Greg Braggs, you fuck.
By the way, Greg was going to join us, right?
He's going to join us when he gets home. He's driving in a blizzard.
Oh.
Nikki was driving him home all day.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. You know what that means, right? We never have him back on Bears Bar.
So, Tooch, what's your first question here for the Kobe Bryant? And Aldo, you are monitoring the first correct answer.
That is correct. I am all over it.
Here we go.
All right. Name the team that drafted Kobe Bryant.
Ooh.
I'll be the dead air filler and say, wow, that was a tough first question.
Come on now. I think the way you should do it is you should ask all three questions, 1, 2, 3, and then Swanky, you're out of it.
We got the correct answer already.
Grant Sims is correct with the Hornets.
Grant Sims with the correct answer.
Sims is
Kobe was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets.
That is correct. Swanky, come on, man. You were there first, but you missed out by a millisecond.
God.
Right.
We needed that music. We needed that.
We need the Jeopardy music.
Good answer. Whatever that shit said. I always know. Where did he get that from? I was trying to download some dings. Let me get some dings for you.
No, I got dings. Why don't I have good things?
Ding dongs. There you go.
Searching?
I like that.
All right. And the next one is...
The next question is... We got music, all right?
Yes.
The next question is, Kobe Bryant was quoted as saying if he didn't skip college and go straight to the NBA, he would attend this university.
Which university was Kobe Bryant going to attend if he didn't go straight from high school to college? Big Mark says the Hornets. No, it's college we're looking for. We're looking for a college. Oh, we got a winner.
Oh,
It's
we got a winner
Ed
already.
Big
All right.
6. Ed Big 76 has got Duke as a winner. Grant Sims was a second too
Very
slow.
good. Grant Sims, too. He was right there, just a little bit late. All right, so we got the tiebreaker question. So Ed Big and Grant Sims.
That's right. That's right.
Number 3.
So it is just those two guys, Grant and Ed, right?
Yes, it's down to Grant and Ed.
Holy shit.
First one to answer this will get the Kobe Bryant commemorative magazine.
Tribute magazine.
All right, here we go.
All right, question number 3. Kobe Bryant once scored 81 points in a game. Name the team he scored 81 points against.
Wow, that one's tough.
Ed Big is saying damn, and that is the wrong answer. Grant Sims is saying, ooh, that's the wrong answer, too.
Better Google it.
There we go. Swanky. Oh, my God. We're going to have to go to a fourth
can't
question.
answer.
Swanky, you're fucking on it.
Ruining the whole game.
Do we have to go to a fourth question?
Let's make the fourth question something totally not related to Kobe Bryant. Let's make it a Chicago Bears question. How's that?
All right, there we go.
So while you're figuring out what that question is, Johnny Santucci, I will tell our audience that all prizes will be shipped out by Johnny. I will have nothing to fucking do with it. Because, you know,
I got 3 of them to mail out. I got one for
if you rely on me.
My son, Joey Two Scoops, my radio son.
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm happy.
Is he happily married, I hope?
Apparently.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
As long as he's getting these Marvel tickets.
This is Greg's that's in there. Greg's mom.
Greg's mom?
She was like, yeah. She had, all right. Nice. She had the right answer, too, on question 3. All right, so I got, you got a question, a Bears question, maybe, from Dr. Phil?
Yeah, I got one if you guys don't have one.
Aldo's doing the question.
All right.
I wasn't prepared for the question. I can come up with one if you need another one.
No, hold on a second.
I'll go with Aldo's question and then mine.
All right. Are you guys ready? Now,
yes.
Now, hold on. So this is just between Grant and Ed, right?
Grant had a little said that we're 6 whiskeys deep. He's absolutely right. He got that right.
Oh, that is an extra point there for Grant.
All right, so
we bring them on. Could you bring them on or no? Too many.
No, we could, but
we don't have enough time.
Yeah, we're a little out of time. So let me ask this question. All right.
Go ahead.
All right. The question is, and people are going to get mad at me because this is one of those old questions. The 1940s proved to be a good decade for the Bears with how many NFL championship wins? How many NFL championship wins for the Bears in the 1940s? Who is going to answer first? Swanky says Cutler. No, how many NFL championships?
Cutler. Just throw Cutler.
Everybody is Googling. I can tell everybody is Googling. Zach, Barb says 8. Big Mark says 5. Grant says fuck. Logan says 6. We still haven't had a winner. Swanky says Virginia McCaskey's panties. No, I want how many championships? Logan, no, it's not 6. You said 6. We're looking for the number 4. Oh, geez. We got to go to another tiebreaker question. This is unbelievable. Grant Sim says they won 9, which would mean they won every year in the 1940s. No.
All right. I have a question for them then.
Okay, good.
There was a running back. He wore number 35 for the Chicago Bears and replaced the great Walter Payton. What is his name and what college did he attend?
All right, I like it.
I know this.
John, you already have 4 covers. Stay out of it. Oh, we got an answer.
Here we go.
Neil,
what do we got?
Neil Anderson. But
that is correct. What college?
He didn't put what college. Somebody's got to list both the name and the college at the same time. Neil Anderson, who cares, says Barb Graham. Who, by the way, is very disappointed that Shayne is not here, but that's a different story.
Greg's mom is saucy.
Boyfriend is bad.
Nobody's going to get this fucking magazine.
No, I don't. I thought that was an easy one.
Send it to me.
Give it to the guy who said Neil Anderson. We'll give it to him. That was correct.
All right. Then
the University of Florida would have been.
That is correct. And somebody had the University of Florida, but it wasn't the guy that said Neil Anderson. So let me scroll up. It was our new listener, Bass V.A. Grant, who is indeed a bass player. So it's bass V.A. Grant. He says Neil Anderson.
Vagrant, Aldo, like you.
Ed Big 76 did say Florida, and Grant Sims says I'm lost on this one. So in my world, if you can afford to send two of those out, send one to our new listener, Bass, and send one to Ed Big because he had
Bass Vagrant to give me a follow on Twitter and message me his address.
That's the way to do
There
it.
you go. That's the way. Or on Facebook, John Santucci.
Johnny the
on
Dude.
Facebook.
Send me a message on Messenger.
Yep, there you go.
Either way.
There's a lot of that shit going on.
A lot of that shit going on, I'll tell you that. So who are the
Stop
two?
shitting on my dreams, man.
These are my electronic voices. Listen to this
Who
one.
the fuck are you talking to?
Jesus, those are spooky. Sort of like
a Halloween show.
The Outsider. Man, we got to talk about that after we're done with Rodney.
I'm totally in the middle of the past episode.
Oh, so you didn't see when that guy got killed?
Pause.
No, just kidding.
No, don't
just kidding.
Just kidding. Don't say shit. Don't be fucking the spoiler on the show.
That's not me. I never spoil anything.
There's always a spoiler. I hate the spoiler person.
Yeah, I hate that too. The only thing I spoil is sex because I come too fast. But let's give
now we're too old to go twice too, although
exactly. Sorry, honey. I'll see you next week. All right, I'm going to call Rodney up now a couple of minutes early. Hopefully he will come to the phone. Rodney Clemons, defensive back.
Hello?
Hey, is this Rodney Clemons from SMU, defensive back who is going to score many interceptions and touchdowns in the NFL?
Yes, sir, it is.
That's what I want to hear.
We got a special intro for this guy.
That's
Aldo.
right, we do, man. And but first, I want to tell him that Rodney, you're talking to three people, and the first one is the ugliest one. His name is Johnny Santucci. Johnny, say hi.
Hi, Rodney.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well.
The
good. I'm
welcome to Bears Bar Room.
Thank you.
The second one is me, Aldo Gandia. I'm the best looking, but I want to save the main introduction for Draft Dr. Phil Otoshin because he is our resident musical genius here, and he came up with this introduction for you.
Straight out of Texas. He's a 6 foot, 206-pound senior safety out of SMU. The former Taylor High School star was a first-team all-district where he lettered in both basketball and track when he finally figured out that he needed to play some football. Then he went on to SMU, where he played 4 years at safety, finishing his senior season with 78 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, 1 fumble recovery, 4 INTs, 9 pass breakups, and 1 block kick. The former Mustang Barflies, give a warm welcome to safety, Rodney Clemons.
I like that.
We're gonna
always bring it. We always bring it. I had to get that ghetto boy, Houston, Texas, hip hop vibe in there, Rodney.
I feel that. Thank you.
All right.
Absolutely, man.
Rodney, here on this show here on the Bears Ballroom Radio Network is called 100 Proof. We try to keep it real and authentic. We're very loose here. And so, feel free to let your hair down and just goof with us. I want to first kind of throw it over to Johnny Santucci because months ago he told me, hey, have you seen the tape on this guy, Rodney Clemons? And I go, no, I haven't had a chance to see it yet. And he's like, oh, man, you got to take a look at this guy. This guy can ball. And so that's when you first came to my attention. So I want to throw it over to the Tooch and let him start the Q&A with you, all right?
Well,
okay, cool. Sounds good.
Thanks, Aldo. Welcome again, Rodney. Yeah, I have a friend here. I live in Des Moines, Iowa, and I have a friend who she went to SMU. So I always try to, go, hey, what do you think about this kid? I'm watching some tape. Number 8 kept popping off the tape. I'm like, who is this guy? Great tackler, playmaker. And then I did a little more digging. Started all 12 games as a freshman. Sophomore started all 13 games. Junior started all 12 games. As a senior, had 78 tackles. So he's a really good tackle that breaks down great, you guys. And who reminds me of Aldo is Marty Carter. I don't know, you remember Marty Carter?
Oh my God!
Yes.
I remember him.
This
Number
guy,
23.
He's a faster Marty Carter. And I remember Bob Slowick was the defensive coordinator on the Bears. Say, Marty Carter, that son of a gun, he's the best safety in the NFL. He had that Southern accent,
Yeah, Bobby.
This kid's got a good game. He'd be perfect on the Bears. Our safeties forgot how to tackle this year, Rodney. so he'd be a great fit on the Bears, Phil.
Yeah, Rodney. This is your guy, Draft Dr. Phil. I try to intro you, like I said, with that Houston pride. Take us back, though. The state of Texas, this is where you're from. We all see it. I'm from the East Coast. I'm up in Connecticut. Aldo's up in Chicago, in the Arlington Heights area. I'm not going to give you his address. He's wanted by several
ex-wives.
Yeah. But talk about the state of Texas and growing up there and what football's like for you back then.
Oh, well, the state of Texas, like everybody says, football is the biggest thing down here. It's face, family, and football for probably 90% of the people down here. So growing up, I played Little League and everything. That was a big thing around here. Junior high and high school, I played that too. And, when high school playoffs come on in Texas, it's like almost a holiday. People gather around the TV and everybody watches it. And it's kind of like it's equivalent to college football, basically, just football's big in Texas, like everybody says, and that's true. It's true.
Well, let me ask you this. Off of that, it took you to your senior year to go out for football. What's the story behind that?
Well, I actually played freshman year in high school. I played football. I was on the freshman team, and I ended up I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. I just, being a kid, I guess, I stopped playing. Was just a regular student, high school student. Sophomore and junior year went by. I played track and basketball, but I wasn't on varsity at the time. And then my school got a new coach during our last year of high school, and I was at a basketball game, and the new high school coach that had just got hired, he was at the basketball game too. And he had seen me moving around on the court, and he came up to me after the game. He's like, hey, I like the way you move, very athletic, and I like your size. I would like you to come play safety for me. I was like, okay, sounds good. And I had a lot of friends throughout the school and everything, and all of them played football. So I was like, might as well come out here last year and give it a shot and see how far we go. And we ended up having one of the best years in our school history. I think we made it to the second round of the playoffs. And then on a personal level, I got a few accolades, all district, all state. I was actually an all state punter too.
Really?
Funny little story. Yeah, I could punt a little. I play every sport.
Versatility.
Love it.
Nice.
Yeah. So, got that defensive wise, all great at Houston, all those things. And I ended up getting 3 offers coming out of high school. So I was blessed to just have 3 offers coming out, just playing senior year, because most
just senior year, yeah. That's tough to get those offers. So what were the schools that you had to choose from, the 3 offers?
I had my very first one was New Mexico, and then the coach, my recruiting coach that was, my recruiting coach that was at New Mexico, he ended up moving to SMU when SMU hired Chad Morris. So he recruited me from New Mexico to go to SMU, and then my last 3rd offer came late, and it was a Maryland offer. And I kind of just chose SMU because I wanted to stay close to home. I've never really been there apart from home. I'm a single child, only child, so I'm real close to my mom and my dad, and I wanted them to see me play. So I chose to go to SMU. It's right down the street, not too close, but not too far. And they've seen all those games that you named, freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, they've been to every single one. So it's been a blessing. And that's the main reason I went to SMU.
Hey, I got a question regarding some of the reports of you at the East-West Shrine game were outstanding. This was on Twitter. Clemons is 6 foot, 205 pounds. He's a 4-year starter with plenty of versatility to play all over the field, be it as a deep center fielder or down as a nickel DB. Clemons has the baseline tools to handle himself wherever the defense needs him to be. So my question to you is, where would you prefer to play at the safety position in the NFL? Do you have a preference, or do you like kind of showing off that versatility?
Yeah, I really don't have a preference. I like as you said, I like showing off my versatility. Really, anywhere the team needs me, I'd be able to step in and contribute. I'd be fine with that. I like playing deep safety because you get to see the whole field, kind of roam around and be free. I like that a lot. But I'm also fine with coming out in the box and supporting the run game because I just like to be around the play. Basically, I like to be around the ball. So wherever I can be around the ball is where I want to be. But wherever the coach needs me, that's where I'll be.
Well, and that makes you a prime target for the Chicago Bears because, as you know, Eddie Jackson just signed a contract extension, so he's going to be playing for many years, and his strength is playing that center field. But Chuck Pagano, the defensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears, he likes to have the safeties be able to play both positions. Eddie Jackson played more in the box this season, he said, than he's ever had in his entire career. So complementing Eddie with a safety with your skills who can play that center field position, can also play in the box, would be a perfect fit. Now, we know that you talked with the Chicago Bears at the East-West Shrine game. Can you share anything with us about that discussion you had with them?
It's kind of like any other discussion you have with any other team, kind of the basic things. They try to get to know you, your background, where you're from, things like that. And you take a few tests while you're at the game. I think it's called the Wonderlic test. You take a few tests, kind of where they can see where you're at on the football standpoint and like just a regular book smart standpoint. So it wasn't anything just major. It was kind of like your basic interview with a team.
Gotcha.
When you look at your game, I was watching a couple of your games tonight as I was at the gym on the Stairmaster, not keeping it 100. And I'm just sitting there in awe because I feel like you can go inside and play that nickel position. And just watching your fluidity and how you attack the football, as a safety, though, I always talk about it as I do my film studies about going in the alley and being an alley defender and being that last line of defense. It takes a special person to get onto the next level and then be one-on-one with a Damian Williams or any great back coming into that alley, running downhill. What is it like for you? And explain to the audience how important that is to be an essential tackler like that.
Well, it's essential. Being the safety, we're the last line of defense. So if they get through the D line, you got the linebackers to cover it up. If they get through the linebackers, you get the safeties to cover it up. But if they get through us, there's nobody to cover up with the end zone in the 7. So, you have to be very sound in your tackling, especially your open field one-on-one tackling. I give my credit to my tackling. I kind of learned over the years through my coach, Coach Trey Haverty and Coach Jess Love. They're two of my coaches that I had throughout college, great coaches, and they taught me a lot throughout the game and how to read, how to run schemes open and blocks and reading run pass keys and things like that. So, learn things like that helps me trigger faster on run plays so I can get downhill because it's easier to tackle a guy in the hole rather than him being wide open in the middle of the field. So I give a lot of credit to my coaches and teaching me the ins and outs of the run game.
When you look at yourself, what's your best attribute that you think that you bring to the table into the NFL?
I'd say my knowledge of the game.
Nice.
Growing up in high school, I played I played both sides of the ball. Like I said, I played kicker, punter, but I also played receiver, quarterback, running back. I also played the offensive side of the ball. So I kind of see what the offense is doing just from the standpoint of previously playing that position. And then I'm a big film guy. I love being in the film room. I'm not the most athletic guy, you could say, jumping 45s and running 4.2s. So a lot of my time goes into the film room and reading what the offense does. And reading on that, gives you an extra step.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the biggest thing for me is being in film, and my knowledge of the game helped me play faster than other people.
That's a huge point that you just made there, because anybody that self-scouts recognizes the advantage to knowing and being instinctive in the run game. How do you get instinctive, Coach? Well, you watch a lot of film, and then you play the game, and then you get to know what you're seeing, whether you can or cannot trust what you're seeing. And when I watched you and I see your instincts, that's the first thing I wrote in the notepad. This kid's instinctive. He's athletic. He's not afraid to come up and rake at the football. I like how you attack a receiver in the angle as well as in the alley. I liked what I saw. And, you brought up your 40 time. Are you preparing for the combine with
Oh, yes, sir.
a run coach, and what kind of numbers do you think you're going to get?
Well, I'm training at APEC right now down in Fort Worth, and I was blessed enough to get an invite to the combine, so I'll be there.
Awesome.
But,
Congrats.
I'm right now. Thank you. Right now, I'm like a low 4.5 guy, but I'm trying to get to the 4.4s. I'm pretty sure I can.
Wow.
I'm not slow or anything. It's just I'm not a 4.2 guy.
Right.
You run a 4.4. Let me say this to you right now. You run a 4.4. That is freakish safety speed.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now, because you have the instincts. So really, you're running a 4.3. If you use your instincts and run a 4.4, let me just let you know that. So keep working on that. That's awesome. Aldo, you had another?
Yeah, while we're talking about numbers, I saw a report where in your junior year, Tony Pauline over at Draft Analyst said that you weighed at 185 pounds, and then more recently, reports are that you're at 205 pounds. So I want to know, did you add 20 pounds of muscle from your junior year to your senior year? And so if you can talk a little bit about that, and then also talk a little bit about where do you want your NFL playing weight to be?
Nice.
Well, okay, starting off with the body weight. My freshman year coming into college, I was 172, a skinny high schooler. Came in, and at the start of the season, throughout the summer, I gained 20 pounds, so I was 194 by the time of my freshman year season. I ended up getting hurt my freshman year, got a red shirt. Came back the next year, I was around 185. I don't know, I just guess I didn't have the same amount of muscle. But I think I kind of lost a little body fat. Then coming in my junior year, I was 190, around there. And then, my red shirt sophomore year, my true junior year. My senior year, which would be my red shirt junior year, which was last year, I came in around 200. And then my senior year, I came in at 205. But I give a credit to once Chad Morris left, our first coach, we got a new coach, Sonny Dykes, as you know. With him came his staff and his strength staff. So we got our strength coach. His name was Kaz Kazadi. He was at Baylor. He came in, and he was real big on nutrition and keeping your body weight. And, at the beginning, being a freshman and things like that, we lift, but we don't really focus on our body weight, eating healthy and getting enough water and sleep and protein and all those good things. And he came in and put a big emphasis on that stuff. And, I just bought in like the rest of the team, and you could see the results. So once you saw the results, we would keep at it and eat right, get the right amount of sleep, and working hard. That's never been a problem. So put those three things together, you get bigger, faster, stronger. And I ended up gaining 20 pounds to my senior year.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice. Rodney, what was it like playing for Leon Latt, the defensive coordinator for the East team, and Steve Jackson, the defensive backs coach?
Nice.
Well, it was real cool, being a football fan my whole life, I knew about those guys, so kind of starstruck, but you gotta go out there and you have a job to do. So it's cool to learn behind some of the NFL greats. get to pick their brains and get to learn from the best.
When you look at your game, why number 8? Is there a story behind that?
No, there's no story behind that. I just came to college and that was an open number, so they gave it to me.
Let me ask you this.
8 is for great.
you brought up your college, so I just wanted to piggyback on that. What was it like to choose SMU, a team that basically had the death penalty over all the stuff and the drama? I watched the documentary on Netflix about SMU and the 30 for 30, and it was just so interesting to see how this school went from, Eric Dickerson and Craig James and the world at their hands, then to being completely banned and then brought back to life, and you be a part of it. What's the energy like at the school? Is it a football school now? Is it kind of like, give us something here about SMU.
Yeah. Well, coming into SMU, I think my freshman year coming in, they were 1-11. So
right.
We knew there was a lot of work to do. We had a great head coach that just got hired, Chad Morris, and he instilled beliefs in us that we thought we could change the program around. And signing, I got to meet the guys in my class. We set up in the dorms and talked about how we were going to change this program around. Get back to this winning state and make the city of Dallas proud. And going throughout the years, seeing the records go improve every year. Then Coach Dykes leaving, going to Arkansas. St. Dykes coming in and picking right up where Coach Morris left off. And
technical difficulties.
Everybody's talented.
Hey, Rodney, we lost you temporarily, so we've got a couple more questions for you, and then we'll let you go. But we are so impressed with your acumen of the game, your personal story. We're rooting for you. Like the guys have been saying, we desperately need a safety with the versatility, the tools that you have. So I'm glad that Johnny Santucci spotted you early on, so that we've been kind of keeping track of you all season long. So you were in the middle of something and you cut off, so I'd love for you to finish your thought, and then we'll finish up with a couple of more questions.
Okay, I think I was talking about just this season. The best part. Just the best part, coming to SMU was seeing us change from a 2-10 team to a 10-3 team, and changing the perspective of what SMU football is around Dallas and around the entire country. And we have some really good young guys there, and us seniors, we laid the foundation of a winning program, and I know Coach Dykes is going to keep that moving forward. And I feel like SMU is going to be really good for many years to come.
Now, when you were a kid, you said you were a football fan growing up. What was your favorite team, and who was your favorite player?
Gosh, favorite team, really any sports, favorite team would be the Houston Texans, the Houston Rockets. Any Houston team would be my favorite team. But I used to love Peyton Manning growing up. I used to love the Colts. So it'd be kind of hard going for the Texans and the Colts both being in the AFC South.
Omaha.
Yeah. Favorite player ever?
Yes.
Probably would be Michael Vick. I used to love him.
Yeah.
And then my favorite defensive player ever would either have to be Sean Taylor or Ed Reed, one of the two.
Yeah, there we go.
Were you rooting for the Rockets when they had Yao Ming on the team?
Yeah. Been since 1996, since the day I was born, so I've been rooting them forever.
Man, I met Yao Ming once. I did an event where he was kind of the featured guy, and my goodness, man, that guy walked into the room, and it's the tallest man I've ever seen in the world, and he had great personality, and boy, you talk about worldwide fame. That guy certainly had it. Mm-hmm. Hey, in the chat room, we've got a number of people in the chat room who want to know some more about your personal life. So, for instance, when you get off the practice field and you're hungry for a meal, what is it that you like to eat most?
Well, usually when we get off the practice field, we'll have dinner with the team. So we have good caterers. They serve whatever the menu, what's on the menu that day. We don't really have an option. But if I had an option,
yes,
I guess I'd say a steak, baked potato, Macaroni and cheese. I'm good with that.
Where are you going to? What restaurant are you going? Are you going with Joe Mandel or Greg Braggs to Arby's? Are you going to Popeyes?
No, don't do that. No, go to Popeyes, not Arby's.
Spicy
No fast food. No fast food.
No fast food.
Oh,
yeah, getting some Texas barbecue. That's what I'm getting. Brisket.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do some Texas barbecue.
Texas
I know all the spots.
Texas Roadhouse is all here nationally. It's like a what do you call it, Aldo? A franchise.
Franchise. There you go.
It's my favorite fucking restaurant. It's the greatest restaurant, Texas Roadhouse. You pick out your steak. There they go. They got the promo from me. Look at that.
Have you had their cinnamon? I mean their rolls with cinnamon butter.
The rolls with the cinnamon butter. I don't eat carbs, but when I used to, it was like dropping like 12 of those, and you're like, holy shit! I still got to eat the prime rib that I ordered because those buns are so. My sons, I got twin boys, Rodney, and they just go there for the buns.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
Glad you brought that up.
What about music? So when you put the earbuds on, what was it that you like to listen to?
Gosh, my music's so diverse.
Great.
It depends what mood I'm in. Before a game, I like to listen to some rap, something to put me up.
Yeah.
Usually when I'm just chilling, like some 90s R&B.
I like this kid.
Every now and then, I just listen to, I have my thing on shuffle all the time, so you might hear some pop, some. I got a little bit of rock on there I used to play Guitar Hero, so, I got a few songs I like, rock and roll songs I like, then rapping and 90s R&B is pretty much it.
Let me ask you this real quick. We ask every guest this question. Tupac or Biggie?
Ooh. If you're going for the rapper persona, I'd have to go for Tupac. But that's hard. It's hard. I gotta go with Tupac though. Just the whole persona and the image.
All right. You went against me, but Greg is happy over there.
Now, again, these questions are coming from our chat room. I don't know why Raul Ramey would ask this question, but he wants to know big booty or big boobies.
I'm a legs type of guy.
There you go.
I like this guy. He answered without answer. I like that. That shows creativity.
Most of the players that we have here, they go for the big booty.
Although thought of Tina Turner immediately.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Rolling on the river.
Hey. Rodney's going to interview real well at the combine. Man, he's such a nice kid. He's very well spoken.
Yeah.
He's going to do great.
He's still in the room, man.
I know. I'm telling you guys.
Give him a question.
Why do we call these
football movie? Favorite football
movie. Good question.
Favorite football movie. Ooh.
This is a judgment question for me. I'm going to know everything about it.
I'm trying to think of all the great football movies.
I would guess.
You need me to give you a few?
My guess, the Texans.
I mean, just off the top of my head, remember the Titans. And then,
I
like Any Given Sunday.
Yes.
But I guess I'd have to go just remember the Titans just off of.
Yes. You were in the draft.
I'm a Friday Night Lights guy.
Oh, that happens in Texas.
I know.
I guess that doesn't stay in Texas. That's Vegas, right, Tooch? What happens in Vegas? What happens in Texas? They show everything.
It's a perfectly scripted movie, the whole drama and everything. It's the
what are you talking
1 foot short at Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights? Oh,
yeah.
I'm talking Remember the Titans.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Rodney picked
Remember the Titans. 1A and 1B. Yeah.
Remember the Titans. I'm right there with you, Rodney.
Are you into the Marvel movies? What is the question that you always ask, Phil? Marvel?
I always ask, Marvel or DC?
There you go.
See, I'm more of a scary movie guy.
Yeah, me too.
I like to watch. But
we'll get to that.
If I had to choose,
yes.
If I had to choose between Marvel and DC, I'd probably have to go DC.
Oh, I like that.
Curveball.
This guy's really
the Batman, Superman.
I take back what I said about that interview, though. I'm just kidding, Rodney.
Tooch is a Marvel guy. I'm with Rodney there, man. I'm with him on the scary movies, and I'm with him with DC.
What's your favorite scary movie? Remember?
Yeah.
Favorite scary movie. I've seen almost. I'm pretty sure I've seen every single scary movie.
Yes.
Favorite scary movie. Shoot. Okay, I got two. I got one that I like right now, just like off, like that I can watch anytime. Is Insidious.
Oh,
I can watch that anytime.
I got
and then an older scary movie that I like that I watched growing up. I probably watched this movie like 75 times. Signs with Mel Gibson. It's an old movie.
But M. Night Shyamalan.
That's right.
Yeah, and like that's one of my
recently,
favorites.
man. Us scared me. The Jordan Peele movie. That was scary. The scissors, man. I'll never forget the damn scissors. Jesus.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
he's a spoiler, Rodney.
So Rodney, if you are, do you stream movies and you do you binge watch stuff? And if so, what have you looked at lately and said, man, this was pretty awesome?
Oh yeah, I'm terrible at that. I'll watch a whole show in one day.
Whoa, nice.
Oh, you're perfect.
Wow, excellent, man. All right.
The last thing I watched, I guess the last thing I watched, is the Aaron Hernandez thing on Netflix.
Oh, I just saw that.
I was just about to ask him that too.
Yeah.
That was the last thing I watched.
Oh, we got to talk about that. What'd you think about this story?
15 minutes from my house is where he grew up.
Oh, in Connecticut, yeah. What'd you think about his story? Yeah, what'd you think about his story and what he went through?
I can't really. I really don't know what to say. The evidence looks like it was him, and he had brain damage and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of guys out there with brain damage that don't do the same thing. And I feel like there's a little more backstory between it. I don't know. His what's it called? His sexual desires. I feel like that didn't need to be in there. Just like respect, but other than that, he did what he did, and there's nothing to cover it or whatever, and he did his thing, and
it's a bugged out thing. The high school quarterback just throwing his dirt in the street.
Oh my God!
Holy cow!
I didn't really like that.
That kid.
Although he did what he did,
you don't tell that. You don't tell that kid any secrets, I'll tell you that.
No shit.
We call that barlissimo in these parts.
McDonald's better not tell him what the secret sauce is, because he'll tell everybody and he'll fucking suck it down, but that's a different story.
Could be tooching in parts of Iowa. Tooching sounds better.
Hey, Rodney, we're going to let you go. You spent the half hour with us. We got a really great opportunity to get to know you, the man, and also some of your preferences, but also our listeners are just excited about your football potential in the NFL. And hell, while we would love to have you here as a member of the Chicago Bears, wherever you go, have a great effing career, make a lot of money, make yourself happy and proud. Unless you go to the Green Bay Packers, and then we hope that everything just falls apart for you.
Well, thank you guys, all three of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rodney.
Rodney, you were great. We appreciate you. I just want to echo what Aldo said. All the best. Just do you out there. And
we'll be rooting for you at the Combine.
Absolutely. Hopefully we can get you back. And if you're a Bear, it's already marked in blood.
That's right.
Horror.
Weekly show with Rodney.
Come back after you get drafted. I gotta hang out with these fools again. Right?
For sure.
All right,
brother.
Have a great night.
Once again, yes, sir. Once again, thank y'all.
Thank you, Rodney. So damn polite, man. He's not like Akeem Hicks who was telling us, get the fuck off. Just kidding, Akeem.
Akeem was coming back. Akeem said he's coming back.
Yes.
Now we got to make that happen.
We have to make that happen.
I thought he was going to ghost us after we dropped the call. I was like, he ain't coming back.
Oh, that night. Yeah, that was a great interview.
That was
How
awesome.
about this kid, though? What a great
Yeah,
kid.
what a nice kid, man.
Good energy. Fucking Aldo bringing I Have a Stream up in there. Look at that.
We need to get some more listeners on the I Have a Stream.
Dude, what happened? What happened to you? I throw it to you for the first question, and all of a sudden it's like
I didn't know it was question time. I was setting the table.
Crazy. He was like giving him a stack. I checked Aldo.
I was barrelissimoing. I'm filling in for Barrelissimo next week.
breaking news, barroom breaking news. Johnny Santucci is a fucking idiot.
I told you got Lane Marsaw, the dumbest man in the barroom tonight.
Lane.
Lame, Mark.
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Hey, you also had another. Is Braggs coming on?
Is he?
Where's he? What's an up?
Nicky was driving.
Oh, Jesus. We'll get an update from Barb, but we have the Mark Egan Barfly.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about Mark. Oh my gosh, we got to call Mark. So maybe we should do that next because
do that. Let's do that. Hopefully, Tooch has a couple questions prepared this time.
I doubt it.
Hey, Tooch,
I knew. Who the fuck is Mark Egan?
Oh my God! Can we get some music for this guy? Holy!
Did you do an open for Mark? You did an open for Rodney.
I didn't do it. I didn't have enough time. Greg's giving me jobs. I did an 8-minute open on a. Jesus Christ, dude.
That's hilarious. Mark Egan. I am dialing him up now. Let's hopefully he picks up.
You want me to give you a little? Do you got a little music? I could talk about him.
Yeah.
Hello? Do it live.
Mark Egan has just joined us. So while you do your intro, I'm going to play a little music in the background. All right?
There you go.
Hold on a second. Let me call
Give me the pointer finger when you're ready.
All right.
This is fucking live on the podcast. If you're a new listener, we go live. You could jump in the chat on mixlr.com. Just type in Bears Barroom. It's the best radio network.
Podcast, Aldo will edit out all my parts.
Are you ready?
I am ready. Go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a barfly. And we always say, barflies unite. 8-7 on under. You got me you got lyrics going. I thought it was an instrumental. But we always want to get barflies united. Mark Egan is a barfly. I don't even know where Mark is fucking from right now. Why did I fuck that up? But that's typical. We're live. But Mark is the sign guy. He's made all these signs and he's sending them to Aldo. He sent a sign to me. It's in the promo. Check it out on Facebook. I've made a little promo for Mark, and Mark Egan joins us. Super Barfly Mark Egan. How you doing?
What's up, brother?
Yeah. I fucked up the music, I'll tell you that, Mark.
I didn't know. We didn't plan this, Mark. I didn't have enough time to give Mark an intro.
Yeah.
A prop.
Well, but we're going to give him a really good interview. We're going to start with some really hard-hitting questions. Mark, who the fuck are you?
That was my question.
Where are you from?
Oh, that was Stooch's question. I stole his question.
Stooch has prepared one question tonight.
But seriously, Mark, who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Guy. I thought you knew.
What is this sign stuff that you're doing? People want to know. They're already placing orders in the chat room. What the hell's going on here?
Those signs scared Rodney Clemons, so.
Signs.
Well, I made a sign for Phil.
Uh-huh.
He sent me some stuff. I've got one in the works for you and one in the works for Shayne, too.
Look at you.
Phil said he liked both of the drawings I made for it. So, they're at the printer right now getting made.
Look at this guy, man.
At the printer.
Nice.
At the printer, Tooch. Yeah, I like
Like Quad or R. Donnelly.
And Mark, how long have you been listening to Bears 100 Proof in the Barroom?
I started listening right around the end of the John Fox. I've been listening to the podcast, and I heard about this show and started listening, and I don't even listen to any of the other ones anymore.
Yeah, fuck all those other guys.
Nice.
Yeah, you're smart. I hope you listen to Last Call at least.
Oh yeah, I listen to Last Call every week.
Okay.
And do you watch the Tape Never Lies?
Oh yeah, that's on Phil's sign. It's
Yeah,
it's
he
got
made
100 Proof and Tape Never Lies on it.
Now, be honest with me, Mark. Do you think that the tape sometimes lies? Because I do sometimes. Sometimes a guy fucks up on tape, and it's because we don't know that he fucking got kicked in the nuts and he's fucking in pain or something. So
I just think that goes to show that the person who's watching it doesn't really know what they're talking about.
well said. Well said.
I never lie. I'll just.
That's for sure. Draft Dr. Phil always brings it 100%, total honesty, authenticity when he's doing the Tape Never Lies, and we love him for that. Mark, tell us a little bit more about, so you started listening to us during the end of the John Fox era, so you're probably listening to all these songs that Draft Dr. Phil was doing, the Christmas album and stuff. Did you hear all that shit?
Oh, yeah, I love the Christmas album. I love... Hallis Hall is falling down. That's my favorite.
That's the one right there.
Don't get Sandlin upset again. Jesus. Shayne is sending Sandlin. Poor Shayne is sick tonight, Mark, because he wanted to be on with you. Unfortunately, you
don't
get.
Don't worry though. You listen back here. I'll be replaced by Shayne drops. Aldo edited me out. It'll just all be Shayne drops.
Instead, we got
of that going around.
Lame Santucci.
Blame Marsaw over there.
Yeah,
exactly.
We got lame Marsaw.
Lame Marsaw.
Yeah.
Whoops. Sorry, I was supposed to fade that up. I want to play a little of Hallis Hall because I'm glad that you brought this up, because anytime anybody mentions the song, I want to play a little bit because it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Draft Dr. Phil's parody song.
Time, y'all, and you know the barflies gotta unite. Best ballroom, watch out, the barflies will cry. That one day has come, Business Fox is the guy. Hallis Hall is gonna fall down, oh yeah. Hallis Hall is gonna fall down. Bears ballroom will tear that fucker down. Is gonna fall down, oh yeah. Hallis Hall is gonna fall down, oh yeah. Hallis Hall is gonna fall down. Bears ballroom will tear that fucker down. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Merry Christmas from the boys at the Bears Ballroom Radio Network.
I think Bruce Springsteen should be paying you fucking residuals for that song, Phil. That's awesome. I love that song.
Classic.
Yeah, at Christmas time, I was at my family's, and they told me to put Christmas music on, and that's what I put on. They're like, what the fuck is that?
There you go.
I love it.
There you go. I wish I was at that table.
That would have been awesome.
Hallis Hall is gonna burn down. Barroom was
and they're all church people too, so they didn't.
Oh my gosh!
Were they offended by J-Lo's butt cheeks and
oh yeah, they don't like any of that stuff.
Oh my God!
Aldo and I had heart attacks during that halftime show.
Oh my gosh!
Aldo bought a pole for his basement to practice.
Yes.
Well, the funny thing about that is my girlfriend had to explain to me who most of those people were. I don't know who any of the people are.
I know.
Hey, so that's the beauty of it. Now there are more women for you to jerk off to. So
I have no shortage of that.
there you go. Spoken like a true Chicago Bear fan, All-American. That is awesome, dude. So tell me about this whole sign stuff. How did that whole thing come about? Are you in that profession of making signs, or is this a hobby, or what? Tell me about that.
I'm part owner of a sign shop. My family's been in the sign business for like 30 years.
Oh, wow,
My
cool.
dad ran one.
Nice.
My dad ran a sign shop his whole life, and then when he passed away, me and my sister, my uncle, opened up our own sign shop.
Oh, how about
Wow.
that? That is great. Do a little plug. Tell people the name of the shop and where you got a website or anything. Let people know about it.
Well, we're based out of Indianapolis. It's just called the Sign Shop, just plain old sign shop.
Mhm.
We have a website, but we don't really use it too much. But if you just contact me on Facebook, I can get just about anything made for it.
Great.
We
So
do more like street
Could
signs,
they-
stop signs, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
But we can do just about anything.
Can people buy the Draft Dr. Phil sign or the Gandia, the Godfather sign?
Yeah, I can make as many of those as
Ah.
anybody would really want.
I think people are gonna like those things.
I like this. I like
Smartest man. Tooch wants a fucking sign. I have a stream with a guy pissing. I
can make him one with Aaron Hernandez and his quarterback.
I like this guy, Mark Egan.
What's the largest sign he's ever done? What is the largest sign?
I've done like the big billboard signs on the side of the highway before.
Nice,
so,
nice.
I mean,
sweet.
I actually, when I was younger, I fell from about 40 feet off of one of them.
What?
Jesus.
Shit. Yeah.
Holy shit! Tell us about that. What the fuck happened?
The guy I was working with didn't know what he was doing and painted where I was walking, and I stepped on the wet paint, slipped, and fell.
Oh my god!
About 40 feet.
The Tooch. That's what we call
Every 2 or 3 months, we do a gigantic sign in at our corporate office. It's about 21 by 75 in segments. It goes on the outside of our window. It's
we do stuff like
laminated.
His sign is beautiful, Aldo. When I look at this sign, it's so sharp. I'm moving things to put it so when we go on video.
Yeah.
I have pictures of it. It's in the promo.
All right.
He took the Bears 100 proof logo, and then he put the tape never lies next to it. So it's like a profile sign. It goes across.
Sexy.
I'm gonna put it right here behind me. So when we go video, people could see it, Mark.
Nice.
And I really, really appreciate it. And Mark has been, DMing me his thoughts on the shows and the drama, the soap opera. He had to edit Shayne's sign because he put something on it. It's so funny. It's so funny, this show. How it touches so many
Aldo's sign's going to be really cool. What I did is I put the 100 proof logo on it. And then above it, in the Godfather type lettering, it says Start Father, and then it's got your name underneath of it.
So nice. It really is dope.
That is so fucking awesome. I really appreciate that, man. Thanks for doing that. And everybody in the chat room is laughing over that sound effect I put in when you fell.
That sudden stop at the end that really
What was
hurt.
it? Yeah, what was it fucking like? 40 feet. Just
my
Yeah, 40 feet.
What was going on in your head?
Oh, you don't even have... the funny thing is that everybody said I was swinging my arms like I was trying to fly all the way down, but it didn't work.
You get that sound effect again?
Jesus. Long way fucking down.
Long way.
You can see my fingers like I was all the way down the back of the sign where I was trying to grab onto something and couldn't grab on.
You had all wet paint fingers there.
Oh, yeah. All the paint, 5 lines going straight down it of my fingers.
Did you break anything? Or you just got up?
I just got up. I mean, I was sore for about a week, but
Did you play it off?
I climbed right back up there and went to work.
Did you play it off like make it into a dance?
That's what I would have done.
One time I fell out.
You have so much adrenaline when you're falling like that. You don't even feel it until like an hour later.
Oh, I hate that.
An hour later, it was bad.
Shit must have hurt.
That's like after
Oh, yeah.
sex for me. An hour later, I'm like, why the fuck did I do that?
I had to have help sitting down to take a shit after that.
They also call that tooching.
Shayne tonight.
Shayne Marsaw is tooching right now.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
We need Joe's fart drop.
I just gave it to him. There you go. There was this ice patch outside. Like Hofstra had this fucking blizzard. There was this ice patch that these fuckers kept pushing this soft snow over it. So you didn't see it. So they were just fucking. This is before cell phones and shit in the 90s. And if they had cell phones, fucking, I would have been on it. Because I'm walking down, everybody's slipping. But you see all these people in the fucking windows watching, and I'm not paying attention. I'm going to fucking dinner or lunch. It was lunch. I fucking slipped and I fucking almost flipped and I turned it into the worm, and everybody was like cracking up laughing, banging on the windows. Like I tried to make it into a dance for the people that were like walking. I didn't realize I had a whole fucking audience in the fucking, like hundreds of people. So when I went to lunch, everyone's like, worm! Worm!
Hey, Phil, listen to this.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Phil, when you fell, did you shit on yourself?
No, I did not. I did fall out of a fucking tree as a kid.
Oh, my God.
Knocked the fuck out. I swear, I don't even remember. All I remember is seeing my best friend at the time, Phil Pia, his name was. I'll give his whole government. Laughing at me as I fucking, my parents are like, you walked home with your bike and you were like, I don't feel so good. And the next thing I knew, I was in the hospital for fucking 7 days.
Holy shit, dude.
I fucking fell fucking 40 feet right onto my head. So I know.
Man.
And that was on grass, for God's sakes.
Shayne just wanted to say hi.
Braggs has made it home.
Braggs is home. Holy shit. So he needs to settle in, smoke a couple doobies, and then we call him?
Yeah, whenever you're ready. I just wanted to give you the heads up.
All right, now I want to ask Mark a couple more questions.
A couple more football questions, too, right?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get Mark's impressions of the Chicago Bears. Where is your level of hope for the 2020 Chicago Bears? Do you think that Ryan Pace is capable of making the player moves needed to move the team in the next direction? And do you think that Matt Nagy is capable of growing as a football coach to take the team deep into the playoffs and maybe even the Super Bowl?
Well, I agree. I think with Phil, we're not that far away. I mean, clearly just last year we won 12 games where Cody Parkey shutting down his leg from going further in the playoffs. If we can get the offensive line fixed, which obviously that's a huge ask after last year, but, you know, just with the new coaching hires, I think Mitch Trubisky is a lot better than what people say about him. You know, he'd had a good year in 2018. Yep. He could be better, but, you know, he's close. And if he got the kind of help that Patrick Mahomes gets every week, you know, he'd be a lot better. You know, he doesn't have that chaos going on in front of him every play. He's got Kelsey running down the seam, the fastest guy in the NFL on the outside. Guy's just running wide open. You know, Trubisky doesn't have that.
Yeah, my uncle said to me over the phone, my dad was down for the Super Bowl. It's like, wide open receivers, those are easy targets. And that simplest point is the truest point. If you can scheme,
like the play in the Super Bowl that turned it around, that 3rd and 15.
Yeah.
There was no 49er on the TV screen.
And he was underthrown.
Yeah, I mean, I could hit a guy that wide open. You know, when guys are that wide open, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, but let me. I just posted this in the chat room. Mahomes has that special arm. You know, that one of the reasons I fell in love with him in college. And Phil said the same thing when he and I were praising him. Is that the guy can throw the fucking ball like 100 yards. In fact, I think it was at his pro day where the workout was over, and he says, "Hey guys, I just want to show you one thing," and he just fucking launched the ball 85 yards in the air to the end zone, and he just wanted to show the scouts that he can throw the ball like Aaron Rodgers on a Hail Mary, that he's got the arm to do that. And so my question to all three of you guys is, you know, Trubisky, yeah, it would be nice to get him that speed, but can he consistently have the arm strength to get it to those guys who are, you know, beating their man 40, 50 yards downfield?
Well, I think he showed he can get the ball down the field, but he just, you know, does he have the time to let the guys get that far downfield? He clearly has the mechanical issues to work through. That stepping in the bucket thing he's got to get that fixed. Yep. I mean, if you're going to throw the ball straight ahead, you can't be stepping 20 degrees to the left. You just,
exactly.
It doesn't work.
Yep.
I like what Chris Sims was saying about that. It was exactly what you keep seeing. That's what I kept pointing out on film. Sometimes he just steps to that 9 o'clock when he's throwing 12 o'clock.
Yep.
And you gotta hammer that out of him. But a lot of times that comes from fear of your protection, where the pressure's coming from. So you gotta work through these things. It's up to the coach. I mean, it goes back to this.
Yeah, well, Charles Leno is a penalty machine.
He is.
The thing that worries me...
It's like the chicken and the egg, Aldo. It's like, yeah, can you assess the guy properly?
Right.
If he's not able to have enough time to get it down the football. When you've gone action, max protect, the guy has hit receivers. And, you know, it's frustrating because the easy narrative is for all these fucking guys to pile on the guy. The hard narrative is to stand here and say, listen, I've done the work and not have the work. But that's the thing about Barroom. I have a library of almost every pass he took. I only didn't put everyone because Aldo would fucking kill me.
The NFL would sue me. That's why.
So every pass, good, bad, I never cherry picked. You can accuse whatever. Aldo could tell you. We've debated, argued, but I'm with you, Mark. The talent is there. I believe this offseason, this is it. For him, Nagy, Pace, all three of them, how they handle it. If they bring in competition, I'm all for that. For the record, I'm not, oh no, that's your guy. I am saying, let's measure the man. How does he do in competition? How does he do? And you got a new offensive line coach that apparently understands the philosophy of what it is that Andy Reid, Matt Nagy offense is. And DiFilippo there yelling and screaming at a kid that Aldo said it. Ragone's his buddy like Burton was his buddy. A coach can't be that all the time. There's got to be some give and take. So hopefully DiFilippo goes in there and you get a fucking tight end to help it, and all the assessment of this kid goes into this paradox of 2020.
All right, let's play a little game here, guys.
Go ahead.
Go around the table. I'm going to bring up a quarterback name, and you will tell me I would prefer him over Trubisky or I would prefer Trubisky over him. Don't worry about the finances. Don't worry.
No finance.
Yeah, you can.
You never worry about the fucking cat.
That's right. Goddamn. Worry only.
There you go.
My wife is Trubisky's her boyfriend. I don't know if I can answer this honestly. She may overhear, but
Can you put mute on Tooch time out for that?
I can do better than that. I can hang up on him. No, here's the rules. Don't worry about contract. The only thing you worry about is his playing ability and his age. All right. So here you are. You're the general manager of the team. You've got an opportunity to go with Jameis Winston over Mitch Trubisky. What say you? Let me start with our guest, Mark.
Trubisky, no question. Jameis Winston's a turnover machine.
Yes, he is. 31 of them, or 31 is it? No, 30 interceptions, 33 touchdown passes.
30 this year.
Yeah, 33 touchdown passes and 30 interceptions. Pretty unbelievable. He sacked 47 times, too, so that's, I'm sure, played into the equation, whether it was his fault or the offensive line or both. It's not a pretty
picture. If Trubisky wasn't so athletic, he would have been sacked 47 times this year, too.
There you go. All right.
Mark.
I am going.
It's not all on Mitch.
Tooch, you're next. I'm going to bring up a different name. Matt Stafford.
Wow. Look at Tooch.
Matt, I have reservations about Stafford's back injury.
Oh, well,
he may only play like four.
You can use that in your defense.
Four games.
Absolutely. So. All right. Okay. Phil, Dak Prescott.
Don't
worry about the money. Don't worry about the money.
I'm not worried about any money. I'm looking at the talent-wise. You know what? I like Mitch better than Dak Prescott. I like Mitch.
Tell me why.
I've seen what Mitch could do in the things that I think offensively the Bears do well and need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at Dak Prescott, he's been in the offense that Mitch would do well in, if you follow what I'm saying. And I think he would be better in Dallas than Dak is for the Cowboys, if you will. And I look at it truthfully, knowing that a run game is not an indictment on a quarterback. Not everybody is Patrick Mahomes. He's a once-in-a-lifetime talent that fucking Ryan Pace missed. Let's just be honest. He missed 2. We knew where we were and what we said. But in Dak Prescott and Mitch, I'm totally on Mitch.
All right. Let's go back to Mark and ask him about
more.
I'm sorry, what?
We're going more.
I want to go one more round. Cam Newton, Mark.
Oh, Trubisky.
No doubt about it.
Cam Newton is all over the place throwing the ball, and he's got way too many injuries.
Yeah, okay.
Egan, the sign man. I saw the sign. It opened up 2 eyes. He saw. Oh, didn't Mandel fucking sing that shit last week?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Your son? Do we have audio?
Very proud of my son.
That's
I raised him right.
That's got to be Egan's entry song.
Yeah,
that's yes. Oh, his sign. Yo, get on that. Do something.
We will have that ready for the next Egan
next
appearance.
Next time you come on, Mark, we're going to have Mandel singing you I Saw the Sign.
That is going to be nice.
I'm all for it. I'm here for that.
There you go. I'll help him out. I'll sing a duet with him.
All right, Tooch, I got Jimmy Garoppolo for you.
See, there's not much difference between the two. I'll take Mitch again. He's a better scrambler.
Look at you, Tucci.
Damn. That is a close call, though. You got to admit it.
All these quarterbacks are close calls.
Yeah.
This offensive line can't block a lick.
All right, Phil, I got one for you.
Oh, I know what you're going to do to me now.
What am I going to do?
I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to put the idea in your head. Go ahead.
Deshaun Watson.
Is that where you're going?
Yeah. Well, I was going to go Gardner Minshew, but then when you said that, I figured Deshaun Watson would probably be the one guy he would definitely pick over Mitch.
I totally would pick Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
You've always loved him.
There's something special about him on the football field. What Matt Nagy wants to do, he fits exactly. And I scout, and when you see it, a Russell Wilson, and you just believe it, like it's going to happen when he gets in there. I felt that same way with Deshaun Watson. That's why I just thought it was happening. And Patrick Mahomes was my number 2, Aldo's number 1, whatever. It was like he could just be the best ever, or maybe he would have a tough time adjusting, and he's adjusted perfectly. Let's just be honest. But my safe, you're up at number 3 at the time. Just stay there and pick Watson. That if I had to choose between the two, I'm not going back on my rankings ever. I thought you were going to throw Tommy Brady, touchdown Tom.
Well, tell me what you think about Brady over Trubisky. You've got the opportunity. He is indeed 90% chance, in my opinion, that he's going to be a free agent. I think the Patriots really want to move on from Tom Brady. I really do.
Vegas line on this?
No, that's the Aldo line. You know what? I'll look for it. While you give me your opinion, I will.
For me, it's Tom Brady. I mean, let me tell you. I've lived this game. I think he's beyond the system. He is extraordinary when it comes to understanding defenses, what they're trying to do, how to get rid of the football in quick game, knowing the right matchup, setting protections, all these things on an advanced level. And think about this when it comes to Tom Brady. Nobody fucking works harder. There's a story. They win the Super Bowl. The very next day, Tom Brady's out there fucking working out in the sweat. A rookie turns to him like, what are you doing? He's like, if I don't do this, I'm never going to be the best. Like, those types of guys. He doesn't give a fuck about the Patriot. He wants to win no matter what. If it's fucking Tiddlywinks or fucking the caucus in Iowa, he's going to want to win. And you have to find those types. And I'm in the minority here because people are going to look at his age. But for me, I know how to fucking win this game of football. And it takes a special person. And when you find those special people that have the innate ability to pre-snap, understand exactly what's going on, they're going to make mistakes. They all do.
Sure.
You look at where. Here's the perfect example. My dad, I'm stealing from him. Me and him were talking about. I kind of brought it up, and he finished it. I said, Peyton Manning, not even near the athletic ability and work ethic as far as physically that Tom Brady had. He goes to Denver, they win a Super Bowl. If Tom Brady went to the Bears, would his work ethic be more? Would he fit, or would he be just like a Peyton Manning going to the Bears? He's like, based on his age, athleticism, he's like, you're onto something. I think he's better than Peyton Manning at that time going to the Broncos. So that's where I'm at. So if you get someone like that, Aldo, the sky's the limit for that. Again, it's 90% not going to happen.
Correct. Well, here are the odds. Oddshark.com has it as minus 250 that he's going to return to the Patriots. And what that means is that you got to bet $250 to make $100 on that bet. The Raiders...
They believe he's going back. That's
correct.
What that means, right?
Absolutely correct. And the Raiders are at plus 300. That means you bet $100 and you get $300 back if he goes to the Raiders. The Bears are about 10th or 11th on the list. It's a plus 1,600, so a $100 bet gets you $1,600. And the longest shot is none other, of course, than the Kansas City Chiefs. There's just no fucking way that's going to happen. But if you want to bet $100 on it, and if it does happen, you win $100,000. So that's the readings from oddshark.com. Mark, you got an opinion on Brady? If Brady becomes available, are you saying come and talk to us?
Brady's the greatest he's ever done it. So if you can get Brady, you swoop him up. No questions asked. Give him anything he asks for. Give him half the team if he wants it.
You're not at all worried that he's 42 years old?
he still played at such a high level. Nobody's as smart as he is before the ball snaps.
Right.
I mean, he knows before, as soon as he gets to the line, he knows where the ball needs to go. I mean, nobody is as good, and his accuracy hasn't gone down any. The problem this year with them, they just didn't have the receivers.
Yeah.
Once Antonio Brown and Josh Gordon, once they got rid of them, he just haven't throw the ball to.
Mark, imagine the Bears had Antonio Brown and this dude, and they lost them. Where would their offense go? Like, that was their two weapons. So that's such a great point. Like, what's his name? The drug kid?
Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon. Thank you. I lost his name. Imagine Josh Gordon on the Bears. He's the best receiver. No offense to our guy, Allen Robinson, but Josh Gordon is like...
He's faster.
He's so much faster, and he's huge.
Yep.
And he's a guy who loves the football. Unfortunately, it's legal in Illinois that he could smoke some weed out, though, finally. So maybe if the NFL does what the NBA does,
no shit,
just legalize the fucking shit instead of giving these guys oxycodone and all these other addictive things, then maybe we have a shot at that kind. But I'm just saying.
There is good news on that front. The collective bargaining agreement, they're in negotiations, and it seems like the NFL is ready to eliminate all of their suspension penalties associated with marijuana use. Now, Duke Martin in the chat room has a really good question for you, Phil. He says, Phil, knowing, based on what you just said about Tom Brady, let me read it exactly how he wrote it.
Okay.
How can Phil know that, what he saying about Tom and still have faith in Mitchell Trubisky? So I think the gist of the comment is, you're saying all these things about the qualities of Tom Brady, but those are qualities that Mitchell Trubisky has not displayed yet. So how can you reconcile that?
Because if Tom comes here, the offense is going to change. You're not going to run read option with Tom Brady.
That's for sure.
You're not gonna run that. Tom is going to attack the football field, every inch of it, with passing game, and you're gonna see and have to change. That's the thing. That's why I'm like, it's not gonna happen because Matt Nagy's here, and he's gonna want to run what he wants to run. And when you have, Duke, an elite talent, as Mark said, the best to ever do it, you put that on your team, everybody else becomes on a higher level of effort. Because let me tell you, this is an icon. This is the best to ever do it. When we saw that commercial, the Hulu one, that wasn't about him coming back to the fucking Patriots. He's telling you as a joke with Hulu, like, I got news for you. I'm coming back, not to the Patriots. I'm playing fucking football. He loves the game, Duke. I'm not saying Trubisky doesn't. I think Trubisky, athletically, all the talents and all that, the ceiling hasn't hit. With Tom Brady, we're rolling the dice with Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks and Eddie Jackson on the defense and what you have over there with this team. Now, it doesn't begin here. They're going to sign a tackle. They're going to draft some linemen. They're going to have to move their philosophy. And if you can get an elite talent at that position,
right,
you do it every time. And then again on Sundays, you do it. That's why.
Absolutely.
And Brady ain't going to put up with that nonsense offensive line that was going on this year. He's going to let you have it if that shit's
He would
going
get
on.
in Leno's fucking face. Leno wouldn't, people would be held accountable. And they would play higher. They would prepare. That's the kind, like what you saw defensively when Mac came here, Aldo, and people were talking about, oh shit, he leads by example. He runs every play. He destroys every rep in preseason. Tom Brady coming here, that's like Dan Marino going to the Bears. He'll be in every receiver. Exactly. He's the Khalil Mack of all. Exactly. He's the best I've ever seen do it. So to see that on the Bears, that sounds weird in spring, but I'm telling you, This guy could do anything on a football field, anything accurately, and he makes everybody better. That's Tom Brady.
Mark, I am going to tell you that all signs point to you being one of our favorite guests so far of the 2020 season. Thank you very much for everything you're doing for Barroom in terms of promoting us with your sign work and just being a great guy, very great guest with excellent opinions and a sharp sense of humor. Love it, brother. Thanks so much for being on, okay?
Thanks,
All right,
Mark.
thanks for having me on. Fuck Green Bay and bear down.
There you go. You fit right in. We'll have you back on when sick Shayne, not lame Shayne, sick Shayne, gets his sign.
Lame Shayne is cool.
Lame
and the next couple of weeks, you guys should have your signs.
Thank you very much. And by the way, Shayne wants to say hi. Hold on. All right, Shayne. All right, go away. Oh, shit! Take care, brother.
All the best, Mark. Thank you again. I
Thanks,
love
Mark.
the song.
Yep, bye.
Is Josh Gordon keeping Braggs late?
I don't know what the deal is with Braggs, but
Greg was being polite, waiting till after.
Oh, so I can bring him on now?
Yes. It's like,
nice.
Wow.
I thought he was out with Josh
I
Gordon.
don't care what Larison says about him on all the other. At least he's polite.
We have Greg Bragg's music. Let me see.
Do we?
Let me see what I can find here.
Don't we have a couple songs? I wrote "Greggy Come Back." That was a great.
Oh, I love
Wanna
that
play
song.
that one?
Yeah, let
for
me
our
find
new
it.
listeners.
Greggy, come back.
Remember, he got suspended from Twitter. Then he started his own new Twitter account.
Then the Bears moved from Bourbonnais.
Then the Bears said the Braggs rule. You skipped one chapter.
Sorry, I forgot about
They were like,
Braggs
the
rule.
Braggs rule's in effect. Then he decides to not fucking get me a bobblehead at the Saints game of Walter Payton because he didn't want to steal it and have bad karma on the Bears. They still got fucking roasted. And then he gets his own show. Then he gets lambasted by Jim Larison. Then he's attacking Shayne. Shayne's hanging out with his mom. This kid has a huge Bears Barroom soap opera. Here we go.
I don't think this is the song, but this might work.
Oh, this is
long time ago, going to camp in Bourbonnais used to make me smile.
I love bourbon.
I just knew that summer sun would come. My videos bringing Bears fans fun, and Bears fans worldwide would be happy for a while.
I just like making people happy.
But in January came with shivers, more Bears bad news to deliver. Shit news on Barroom's doorstep. I could barely lay another brick.
It's too cold to
I'm
lay
man
brick.
enough to say I cried, thinking about my training camp ride. This news touched me deep inside the day that Bourbonnais died.
I can't believe it's over. I'm nothing without it.
So bye-bye, Bourbonnais guy. Drove my Impala there, and I almost died. Met Aldo and Tooge and this crazy goon guy. Being so close to the Bears is this guy. What Bear fan has it better than this guy? Chicago Bears, it's a story of love. Videos I shoot from God above. Julicki will tell me fucking no.
Yeah, we will.
Can Alice Hall fit all you know? All the fans want on a place to go.
You got a French dude playing linebacker. I mean, it's like.
You know I love them. If you don't know, and I ask where you been, you're giving Greggy shitty news. Now Mr. Sunshine has the blues.
And
And they didn't. And they're jerks.
Chicago trading cans my game. They're blocking me out with the video rule. Now they moved this fucking city. Oh, so
you know what? I don't even care that any of you peasants can't go anymore. I'm mad about Bourbonnais for me. Greg doesn't get to have fun anymore. Greg doesn't get the autographs. Greg doesn't get the... This sucks.
All right, Shayne, go away. Jeez, Shayne. Spreading all those germs over the Skype line.
Actually, you made the right choice, Al. That was a great intro.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Greg Braggs, how are you, my friend?
What's up, gang?
Oh, it's always sunshine.
I just got back on treacherous roads coming down central Indiana, coming back from West Lafayette into northwest Indiana. And roads are slick, roads are icy, roads are snowy, and we haven't gotten much snow or winter this year. So, you know, the roads crews are unprepared. Surprise, surprise.
Look at this guy with the weather report.
Yeah, we might have a new weatherman on 100 Proof. I was just going to say, you got your role.
When you're a shy fan in the stands, you got to sometimes get through the elements to get to where you want. Tonight was probably a risk too much, but my boys, my Purdue Boilermakers, won by the largest margin in their school history against a ranked opponent. My good buddy Sasha dropped 15 points, and it was a nice night, and I made it home safe. So I'm happy to be here with you folks. So that's why I figured while Phil's lovely song, and it is a lovely song, Phil, I took a bunch of shots at Jack just to get myself, loosened up. I've been listening to the show all the way home, and definitely my favorite part of the show is when Tooch was talking about the guy Rodney like he wasn't on the air with you guys.
Exactly.
It was my favorite. That was definitely my favorite.
That's called setting the table.
Oh, is that what that was?
That's what they called it in Iowa.
You were setting it nice.
That's the Boilermakers just sat Iowa down, I guess, huh, Greggy?
You know I love you, Tooch. Yeah, what the hell's going on in Iowa? You guys figure out
number
that
17
caucus
Iowa
yet, or what?
we got beat in caucuses. We got beat by the Boilermakers tonight, right?
That's right. We whooped your ass, Tooch. Gave it to you. Are you in Iowa or are you Iowa State? What are you closer to?
I'm closer to Iowa State. It's about 45 minutes away. Iowa is about an hour and a half away.
The land of Montgomery.
Yep. I got David Montgomery to the north and James Daniels to the east.
There you go.
So,
George Kittle to the east.
George Kittle to the east. That's right. A guy who I wanted the Bears to draft desperately, but they drafted some unknown guy in the second. The Dan Bazine of tight ends.
You know what's crazy is I haven't had no shit thrown my way today, and I can't put my finger on what the difference is between 100 Proof shows. I think maybe it's Shayne isn't here. I think that's what it is.
You got lame Marsaw.
Where is that dude?
As the new co-host of 100 Proof, I'd like to thank you, Greg.
I'm sick. Call him up. He can at least give 15 minutes.
Look at Greg throwing him under the bus.
Michael Jordan, our idol, and I know he's Shayne's idol too. You know, what did he do in the flu game, Aldo? He went out there and
Walter
won
Payton too.
Game.
Fucking A.
Walter Payton broke a record with
Jay
the flu.
Cutler went out on a torn MCL while fucking Maurice Jones-Drew was running his midget mouth, talking all this shit, and Shayne can't come out and give us 15
See what
minutes.
we have here? It's called the conundrum.
Crunch rips the crap out of my mouth. I can't do it. It's delicious, but that's true. It hurts.
Jesus. I didn't know that side of him.
Mars can't handle Captain Crunch. Shayne can't handle the
He
floor.
only likes soft things in his mouth, Bill.
said Hernandez's roommate. And so many other people felt that way too.
Oh Lordy,
Ever gonna fix Braggs' internet, Aldo?
No, this time I had to go down in the dungeon. You know, I got home late. You know, my family's sleeping.
But you have a house, so why can't the internet travel?
Well, I don't know, but you know,
You're
I do my
connected
computer.
always
My
on-
home base is the computer room where our bedroom is. It's both. I don't have both. I don't. You know, I got to get a house. You know, to have an extra room here like Shayne does. And Phil, you got a nice room too.
I have a man cave.
So no, yeah, I'm down in the garage. I'm down in my man cave. So I had to improvise. I'm on the iPad. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I know we're gonna work on the microphone for next week.
Yes, I've talked to him about this, Aldo. I need to see his mic settings. Don't listen to Mandel. Listen to me. I want to hear it, and then the Godfather could tell you the clarity. Because right now, I sound clear. Aldo sounds really clear. Even fucking lame Marsaw.
He was just holding up his microphone. It looked like a big black dildo.
That was something soft in Tucci's mouth. Then there's Greg with like the 1987 connection. Like it's got 6 bits going on.
Am I breaking up?
You look like a block. Like those graphics on Madden, or when you don't have an HD signal and you gotta use
it's pixelating.
Yeah,
I think that's the word.
We have a conundrum with you. We
Very
can hear
serious.
you. You're all right, man.
Yeah, you're doing fine. Hey, I noticed that you're wearing that ESPN 1000 hat, and I just wanted to get your opinion about the Kyle Long interview on ESPN. That was pretty provocative. Some of the things he said.
See, we lost his connection. This fuck.
Buggy whip.
He was buggy whip.
I missed one play. Family situation, personal reasons.
Yeah.
Greg, are you back?
Right on. Stay right there. Stay there. Don't move. Get this.
All right.
Go into.
Because fuck them, that's why.
I don't know what to do with my hands. But yeah,
That's
Kyle Long on ESPN 1000 with David Kaplan from 9 to noon. Tuesday, Wednesday, he's going to be on there tomorrow. Has been some really good radio. You know, a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about all season long, you know, and Draft Dr. Phil in particular.
Thank you.
A lot of the offensive line play with the tape never lies, you know, and the issues they've had. You know, Kyle Long's giving you, you know, he's pulling the curtain back. If you listen to what he's saying here these last 2 days, the podcasts are readily available. You know, you know, we can all argue about it all we want, but when I hear what Kyle Long's saying, I'm going to take that with a little more, it just means a lot more to me than anything else anybody else is talking about, writers or bloggers or anybody else. You know, when it comes from the horse's mouth, Kyle Long is, you know, someone that you can trust isn't gonna bullshit coming out the gates trying to make himself in a media career. And he said it straight up. I'm not gonna kiss Mitch's ass, but I am gonna be reasonable about what happened last year. And he pointed out things on the offensive line, like you guys were talking about earlier tonight. So it has been very good radio. Really good get. I hope that they can keep him on board on a permanent basis, and maybe we can even, you know, get him to hop back on 100 proof. You know, we're also friendly with the gang over at ESPN Chicago. You know, we even have a member on our Bears Barroom Radio Network with Mike North, who's also a member of the ESPN Chicago family. You know, and of course they screw with me every day on the Waddle and Sylvie show. So we got Barlissimo going on Kaplan. So, you know, hopefully we can get Kyle Long to come back.
Could he call himself Barlissimo? Like,
no,
what is this? What's this George from England shit?
Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
That's like who I slept with when I went to London. I slept with Barlissimo.
It's like Joey Two Scoops going back to Goon. It's like, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Call yourself Barlissimo.
Yes.
I'm giving you some advice. Take it.
I love Shayne. I've ever told Shayne. He's like a son to me.
Yeah, he's sick. You didn't even fucking call him.
Take care of your 6 sons.
And some soup. Some pasta soup. Fucking Mike North. Where's your hot dog stand?
Oh, man. Yeah, so I'm with you, Mr. Braggs there. That Kyle Long interview, I highly endorse people to go over to ESPN 1000 where they store their podcasts and take a listen to. He was on for 2 hours. The first segment is him talking about the Super Bowl. I think you can kind of bypass maybe the first 10 minutes of that, but then get to the second half of that interview where he is talking nothing but Chicago Bears. And then in the second hour, it's titled Get to Know Kyle Long, and he shares a lot of stuff about his history and so forth.
Yeah, he's been all over the place. Lawrence Holmes is doing something with him.
Oh, cool.
He's trying to get his name into the media ring here. And, honestly, I thought he was very articulate.
Absolutely.
And, he was able to keep up even from beyond the football stuff. So, giving different little insight, talking about his relationship with Harry Hiestand today really stood out to me. He was talking about how his dad told a story about a coach that he never got along with growing up.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, when he went into the Hall of Fame, was like part of his induction ceremony. And that's how much he respected him. And Kyle said that was a similar relationship he had with Harry Hiestand, that Harry was really hard on him and was trying to teach him the game in a certain way. And he said, and this is kind of not verbatim, but taken a little out of context, but he said basically if I was an 18-year-old Kyle Long getting in the hands of Harry Hiestand, that he'd probably be an even greater player than he is today, but they just didn't cross paths at the right time. But he holds all this high respect for him, but they just, it just sounded like maybe he was, real tough on guys. And then he straight up said, Harry's the type of guy that, he's not going to deal with divas, guys that think their shit don't stink. And so I was really curious to think, when I heard that today, that he has trouble coaching guys that think their shit don't stink. That's basically what he said. I would love to know what you guys think, who he's talking about there, because that really
pretty easy for me.
We all know who Phil thinks.
It's pretty easy to me. That would be Charles fucking
Greg. Sounds like you really like Kyle Dick.
Jeez, I wrote Kyle Long and it came out Kyle's Dick. That's weird.
How is that?
That's my acapella box. My new little toy.
Kyle's small dick.
Oh no! We're definitely gonna have him on, and you're gonna ask him about the size of his penis.
You
okay?
Bring him on. Put me on. I'll take a bunch of shots like I did during the Phil song, and then I'll ask a 300-pound Kyle Long that is, or I'll tell a 300-pound Kyle Long that his dick is small.
Jesus.
I mean, it's true. The tape never lies.
Did you guys have lame Marsaw for that show to be on that one?
Yeah, really.
I mean, the tape never lies. It is what it is. I mean,
oh,
Greg
Lord.
sent me some email clips of the interview. I don't know what this is, Aldo.
Okay.
I'm just going to play. It's 50 seconds. I don't know. If
All
it
right.
sucks, I'll pull it right away.
Okay.
Good segue, Kyle. Thank you very much. We've talked about this a lot, but we've got to get your opinion. Shot or no shot, the 2019 Chicago Bears would have been a better football team if Jay Cutler in his prime, so not the Jay Cutler sitting on his couch in Nashville, but the Jay Cutler that you played with, were under center instead of Mitch this past season.
No shot. Because no quarterback would have had success last year. Take that! With that offense.
Wow.
Yeah. For all the friggin' hour and a half of reasons I just gave you.
Yeah. 100% no shot.
It would be miserable. He would be getting crushed physically, verbally. And you know what? Jay worked hard enough and took enough shots for long enough that he doesn't have to deal with that anymore.
No more.
Now he can ride the coattails of his awesome wife.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'm telling you, Phil, I sent you a good
clip.
9 clips.
Really
Excellent.
good. That was a blind clip. Aldo.
All of them are explosive. There's one
Wow.
where he references.
Can we talk
that
about what he just said for a second before you fucking go to the next?
I get excited.
You're like Tooch with no question.
I had plenty of questions. I didn't know it was question time.
He starts talking. He starts talking. Like the guy isn't even here. Like we're waiting for him to still come on the line.
Lane Marsaw likes to hear himself talk. What can I say?
Let me tell you about this guy.
I'm gonna throw it over to John Santucci, who has been following your career, and let him ask the first question. 20 minutes later, he goes, "So what do you think, Phil?"
I literally text Aldo in that moment.
Yes.
I'm like, I guess me and you have to ask the questions tonight. LOL. LOL.
So go ahead, Phil. Comment on Kyle Long's little
That
rant.
was fucking what Greg said. I'm pulling. Explosive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're hearing it raw there. It was like, like someone keeping it 100. Like this fucking show. That was awesome moment for all these fucking haters to recognize that, okay, you might not like Cutler, so that's not going to be the end-all, be-all for you. I get it. Blah, 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 blah. But for me, it says even a veteran that's talented could not. I mean, he just doubled down, tripled down on it. No quarterback could be successful in that offense. So that's telling not just to his offensive line coach, who he might not like, but the offensive coordinator, who, by the way, is the head coach, who, by the way, had the responsibility to come into this fucking team and build off of this kid.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you go into year 2 with all these fucking expectations, and you make it more difficult for everybody, including your fucking self and your ego, with your fucking Waffle House menu and your arrogance and the fucking club dub. I get so angry when I hear this truth. Thank you, Greg, for cutting that, even though it's so fucking trebly coming off my fucking phone. It's
great.
It gets me fired up that Kyle Long, as honest as he is verbatim, step for step, in everything I've been telling and showing on this amazing fucking network. That was my rant.
I love that.
That was a very good rant.
That's going on the best of Phil rants, man. I'm telling you.
Are we doing it, Best of Phil rants? That's a great idea.
I'm doing one. I don't know about you guys.
Tooch told me I'm doing a Best of Phil rants on Last Call for 2019.
I love it. I love
this guy. He's
Great
trying to make lame Shayne really Shayne Marsaw.
You guys are going to forget all about lame Marshall after that one.
Poor Shayne.
Poor guy. Jesus.
Blame
Sounds
it
like
on
someone's hitting a bomb.
You hate Shayne, Greg. You came on here with massive hate. Massive. Call that bitch ass. You're such a fucking pussy.
Who said that?
You said it.
Call him. I said call him politely. I didn't say bitch ass.
Oh, I think that's for sure, Greg. We'll figure it out. We read right through you. Call him. Michael Jordan played with the flu.
That's hilarious. Shayne, come back. I was looking for my
See if I can. You want me to pull another one?
Yes, go ahead.
Or did
Jim
you
Larison
have any?
texted Shayne, told him to take next week off, too, so I can come back.
Oh, by the way, speaking of next week, I'm not available next week, fellas. So, work it out.
What are we going to do?
I'm going to Arizona for a little vacation with the WIFE.
Look at you.
Don't tell any of my girlfriends.
So is Joey Two Scoops or Ryan Badgley in your vote if you had to choose, Al?
If I had to choose?
Yeah, you had to. Who are you choosing?
You know exactly who I'm choosing. Fuck that.
I'm choosing lame Marshall.
Shayne doesn't produce.
No, me.
Oh, you produce? You could do the show?
I will. Yeah, I just need to get one more lesson from my son. I'll be able to drive that car then.
Throwing his hat in the ring now, though. He wants you to choose a lane.
Otherwise, I'll just go to Sedona with Aldo.
I have utmost confidence that he could produce the show very well. It's his interviewing skills that I'm worried about.
Just don't interview anybody next week.
That's right.
I was setting the stage for you guys, and my questions would come later. After the stars, gave their questions.
I told you I was going to go to you first. You asked the first question. So
he told you right before.
It wasn't question time.
We had him on for 10 minutes.
In an interview, you start with a question.
Yeah. We're going to spend the first 20 minutes.
Tell the audience about our guy, though.
Yeah, well, we did that for 20 minutes.
Intro, you fuck. What are you?
Oh, really?
He had 78 tackles.
I went to take a dump.
He comes back and says, "This guy had 78
the intro."
Oh, man. Rel's got it all figured out for me. He knows I'm going to go out there and swing the clubs a little bit, so I'm going to play a little golf. We're staying at a nice retreat with the spa and sauna, get some massages, get those couples massage, and as soon as the masseuses are out of the room, it's bing, bang, bada, boom time. And it's going to be a nice little getaway. Yeah, going to be a nice little getaway.
Much needed vacation.
All right. So, hey, Greg, I am really, really happy that you're here, and I want you to stick around for this next segment, which, I lost on my thing, but I think I can retrieve it.
Is it 2 scoops? 2 scoops?
Probably not, I'm going to say.
Damn it, man.
So with lame Shayne instead. Look at this guy breaking up like fucking Wham. This is the biggest breakup since fucking. Look at him.
In the treacherous snow, we were talking
about. There he is. We can finally hear you. Now you go away. Your connection sucks. Yeah. Larison is feeding his ammunition.
I thought that was another voicemail from Greg.
Yeah.
Sounds like he should be in a Stephen King movie or something. I don't know.
Are you in Kansas City by chance?
All right.
Have the segment lined up for lame Shayne? Is that where we're going?
No, we are going right here.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Fucking Greg's connection sucks big time.
He's a bourbon drinking, strawberry shaking, draft dog, hero loving freak who's supposedly amazing in bed. I can tell you one thing's for sure. If he went to the Saints game, he would have gotten his boy draft Dr. Phil a fucking bobblehead.
Oh, yeah.
He's the second smartest man, maybe not, in the bar room. And this is his tweet of the week.
Oh, yes, indeedy. Shayne may not be here, but Tweets of the Week is here, and it's thanks to Johnny, the Tooch Santucci. He said, I want to do it. I want to do Tweets of the Week. And we said, all right, since you can't fucking interview anybody, we'll let you do the Tweets of the Week.
I had to send Aldo a check for $50.
So
Shayne's judging right now.
Oh, yeah.
I just hope you step up.
Man.
Taking over his segment.
Let's check in on him. Let's check in on him.
Oh,
hold on. Go to Shayne.
Okay. All right. Okay, Shayne.
Shayne, thoughts on the interview? Oh shit. Have you ever had to like hold your significant other's hair? You have to be a sick friend.
Jesus.
It's got the man flu.
It's worse. The cricket.
Oh, he's in the toilet too. Jesus. Oh my God. All right, we might want to keep those sound effects handy for this part of the show. The bad tweets of the week. Johnny Santucci has identified at least one, maybe two, maybe three, maybe more than that. Who knows? What do you got, Tooch?
I have got a couple dumb tweets of the week, and the second dumb tweet of the week leads right into the best tweet of the week.
Oh, I love the way you think.
So the first dumbest tweet of the week. It's not Zim Zimmerman.
We all were thinking you were going to go there.
I know. I'm sorry to let you guys down, but this is actually one Shayne had on his radar.
Oh, okay.
And it's from Bo at Bo Spradley. And it goes, as a non-Dolphin and non-Bears fan, I didn't know there was an argument Zach Thomas was one of the better inside linebackers I've ever watched. Urlacher was very good, but nowhere near the player of Zach Thomas, in my opinion. That's the dumbest tweet of the week.
Zach Thomas and Brian Urlacher.
Yep.
That
was the debate.
I met both players.
Did you?
Yes. And Zach Thomas is literally 2 inches taller than me. I mean, he's that small and short. But he was a tremendous football player and a tackler.
Oh, yeah.
He was tough, aggressive, but Brian Urlacher changed the whole dynamic of the middle linebacker and what you could do in that Tampa 2 and getting and tracking and traveling and just taking away that middle area. It's almost like having another safety. To me, it's Zach. I'm never gonna, piss on somebody who fucking overcame every, bias, whether it be his race or his height, went out there and proved everybody wrong and played his ass off. Tremendous football player, but truly not even with Bears, fandom involved. That's just not that is a dumb tweet. That is a dumb fucking tweet.
Yep. Zach Thomas, old school. Brian Urlacher, the new school.
Before I go on, I got a complaint in the chat room. No audio for a few minutes. I'm looking at my VU meter. It is coming in loud and clear. Is it just one?
Greg knocked us out right, for a minute.
Is Ed?
Are we getting a thumbs up that you?
All they heard was Shayne coughing.
Yeah, that was Shayne coughing.
Okay. Base hears that, so it could be.
Alex Acevedo said, "What happened? We lost you guys."
Well, Alex, where the hell?
I did nothing. Okay,
I think it is.
McBeerman says that he is hearing us. Base is seeing that he is hearing us. So I think that it may have been a problem for some select.
Man, this must be the start of our patronage. And the people that can't hear us.
Oh, there you go. Look at this segue.
He moved to his bedroom, and now he's got really good connection.
So to break it down, I came up here and said, look, babe, I love you. She was in here doing our taxes because Greg's downstairs playing and Jenny's doing the actual adult work
stuff. Yeah.
The adult work of the house. If you think I've ever done taxes in my life, I would have no idea. So
taxes, diapers.
I don't even know how to do
taxes, diapers.
I don't even know how to do my own laundry. So I come up here and
Barbara.
I come up here and I was like, look, I got this signal's too bad. I need to sit here. And she was like, well, you're not really asking me. And I was like, well, what do you want? They're yelling at me. They're making fun of me because the signal's so bad. It's gonna
HD.
So now, just so you know, for the love of this show, I sacrificed and had a little tiff to come in here and give you a little better signal for the audience. So
look at that.
You're welcome.
You are much clearer, and you are now in HD.
There you go.
You're
this is called sacrificing for the better good of the bar room.
There you go.
But I might get stabbed in my sleep tonight.
Yes, you might. you definitely have like a tax bill stuck to your chest with a knife.
Cheers to that.
All right, Mr. Tooch, you got one down. You got another one to go that will lead into your good tweet. So let's have it.
Well, Tooch, before you do your good tweet, we do the song and the bit. I hope you remember that.
Yep.
Okay. I was just double check. I didn't want you to ask a question.
Let Marsaw understand.
Hey, by the way, who was that last tweet from? The first bad tweet?
Bo.
Bo Spradley.
Oh, okay.
Are you off your fucking meds or something?
All right, that was for Bo.
That was for fucking Bo.
All right, tell us the second one.
All right, the second dumbest tweet is from Josh Jordan at Numbers Muncher, and it says, "Did they find a time machine to undo drafting Mitch?"
That's an issue.
Yeah, that's an issue.
This motherfucker said what? What?
Thank you. That's a much better drop.
1 point Phil, Greg.
Well done.
G-Reg. What do you think of G-Reg coming back to the Bears? G-Reg. Oh, a Mandel drop.
I'm with Aldo. Yeah, I gave you the good old Mandel. No, I'm not for it. We need, more permanent solutions. He's a guy that could come in as a veteran backup, but we don't even have a starter right now. So, Greg Olsen would be a nice story, I guess, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy here these last few years, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I'm not, following
the year before he got hurt. He was out for the year. And the year before that, he got hurt. But last year, he stayed healthy.
Okay, so great. But
yeah, I'm giving you his
I don't have a problem. I mean, at this point, we could have used him last year. That's without question. But I kind of want to take my shot at the bigger names first.
Who's your big fish at tight end while we're here?
I don't know. The story of Eric Ebron sounds nice because him and Mitch went to college together, and you see that stuff, and he's got the touchdowns on his resume, so that gets your ears perked up. But honestly, it feels like that position is going to have to be, won in the draft. Austin Hooper or the Hunter Henry, those guys are going to be a lot of money, and they're not cutting Trey Burton. You guys are probably more keen on that than I, but they're not going to be able to cut him this year. So, they're going to have too much money already invested in the position to dump money into an Eric Ebron, Hunter Henry, or Austin Hooper. So you're going to have to draft, a guy, a tight end, and then bring in, another guy. So maybe that is a guy like Greg Olsen if he wants to come in on a smaller term money deal. That's not. But I'm not like
Greg.
He better not.
Would you like to see Mitch take a shit on his coach's face?
Now,
talking over the drop, Tooch.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Did you not hear the drop?
Hold on. Get Tooch back under hip.
Would you like to see Mitch take a shit on his coach's face?
Is this an app that you
This is an app. It's called Acapella Box. Go to Acapella Box.
We had a thing like that in like 7th grade, and it was on our computers, and you could type whatever, and it would say it out loud in our computer class, and then our teacher wouldn't know which kid typed it because tell with all the computers. So.
The episode of The Office when Michael Scott.
Yeah, boobs.
He ends it with boobs. Can Tooch ask a fucking question, please? Can you type that in? Let me hear what it sounds like.
All right, I can pick different voices too. So let's have
any voice. I want to hear.
Let's have Ryan.
Does it have Barlissimo on there?
No.
Don't talk over it.
Yes, here it comes.
Can Tooch ask a fucking question?
Type. I want a man to hug and kiss.
I want.
Or Shayne. No. Shayne wants a man to hug and kiss. Please.
There you go. You get one by request. So be prepared, Tooch. You're next.
I almost spoiled it.
All right, here it comes. Oops, hold on. I've misspelled kiss.
Of course you did.
Here it comes.
Shayne wants a man to hug and kiss.
that voice is.
I'm very worried now because I said on the fucking air I want a man. I'm not even gonna finish the sentence.
Yes,
and I know Shayne's gonna take it, and it's from a fucking Simpsons episode. And I'm getting pissed, and that's why I threw in the Shayne. And I know Shayne's gonna take the other quote. So fuck all you guys. I know where this is
already on time.
I already got the
Aldo.
time mark. Yeah.
How did you know? I texted
Aldo.
Time mark.
Already be doing Greg Echo in fucking 3 minutes. I know.
Why are you not holding it? Charles Leno
Greg,
needs to step up.
You are a fag.
He sounds a lot better.
Greg,
getting better.
You are a fag.
He sounded Russian.
I didn't type
Greg,
that word.
you are fag.
My mom, when we're driving in the snow, my mom's like, they think they're so hilarious.
Where is she? Is she home so we can prank
Yeah,
call?
she got home safely.
Can we prank call her tonight?
Yeah, let me make sure she got home safe, and then we can, if you really want to. I don't know how it's gonna go.
Still in the dump. We're gonna go on to best tweets of the week, right, Aldo?
Yeah, let's do that. So let me.
While he's looking in the snow, or it's mama. Meanwhile, Shane's like, I'm not really sick. At your mom's house. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Prank call coming up.
He's the second smartest man. He's the guy who wanted to improve the taste of salad, so he added bits of bacon. He pondered hard on Twitter. Think of a handle. And once he knew that Captain Hubbs was taken, he's the smartest man. And this is his best tweet of the week.
All right, that was a little convoluted there. I'm not sure where that
messed it up. I'm so confused.
Stop writing
This
those
guy's
things.
a really great guy. I mean, he had 78 tackles in college. He had 4
senior year. On a senior year only. That's pretty good.
You like how I covered up my mistake with look at Greg drinking straight from the bottle of whiskey.
I know.
Is that
I wish you
Jack
could share with me. I'm dried out.
That's a half gallon of Jack Daniels right there, my friend.
Shit. Nice. Remember when you threw the one away? I was so pissed at you.
Man, earlier this year I dropped an entire fifth of Jack, fully open. Hadn't even been opened yet. Broke it before we even started the game. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Quite all right. It is now
on Tooch's moment.
The Tooch who is going to share a positive tweet, a tweet or two or three. I don't know how many he's got, but a tweet
positive.
That is going to inspire us to think that there is
tweet
hope.
Of the week.
Yes, there is hope for the masses. What do you got there?
This tweet actually was the reply to the last tweet.
Oh, remind us again what was the last tweet, because that was 30 minutes ago.
The last tweet was from Josh Jordan at Numbers Muncher, said, did they find a time machine to undo drafting Mitch, meaning they, the Bears? And the response was from Kyle Long, at Kyle Long. And he responded, possibly looking into drafting people to help him. Notice both teams last night in the Super Bowl had Pro Bowl bookends, fullbacks, running games. Football looks exciting when done correctly by able-bodied individuals. Takes massive nuts to pin it on one player.
That's another shot at the Bears.
Holy shit.
You gotta watch out for Aldo. He'll get you.
Gotta watch out for Aldo, too.
Yes, he will.
Did you even hear Mandel call you out, Aldo, when you were gone?
Yeah, I did hear that, and I'm proud of Joe because we fuck with Joe all the time, and it's time for him to start fighting back. That's the way we do it here in the barroom.
You gotta watch out for Aldo. He'll get you.
Proud of Joey Mandel.
Absolutely.
I heard they were taking shots at me at the end of Shy Fans, but I haven't listened to it yet.
No,
You never do. You
Do
never
I get to ask that Aldo app a question? I didn't get to ask the question.
Okay,
because-
yeah, no.
See, nobody lets me have a damn question.
It was a question.
Well, when you had the guest on, Tooch, you didn't want to ask him any. So, you know what the fuck?
Well, what do you?
Aldo was going right to the chat for Tooch.
Yes, this is
The chat.
I'm calling foul play, sir.
All right, Tooch, what's your question? I'll type it in here and see what we get.
Oh yeah, Tooch's question.
Will all those Arizona massage have a happy ending?
Get that.
That's going to be tough. I'm not sure it can pronounce Aldo correctly. We'll see. Well, Aldo's Arizona.
For the Aldo at home, give the Aldo name enunciation a review on iTunes and the show. Give it 5 stars. Go over there, tip your waiters.
Here it comes.
Will Aldo's Arizona massage end in a happy ending?
He even went high on the question. Happy ending.
Happy ending.
Ending. He did say Aldo. I was telling my wife how you guys say Aldo, because we say Aldo here in Connecticut. Aldo.
Literally said the same thing as what.
You guys say Oldo. You see the difference, Greg?
Yeah, if you would have listened to Shy Fans, which you never do, and although I sure didn't hear it either.
I did
At
not.
the end of the damn show, all 3 of you, Tooch, did you listen to the show,
Yeah,
your baby boy Joe?
I listen because Jim Larison says I'm going to be on the show soon.
You know, Jim.
I listen all the time. I might be a host.
We know Larison isn't tuning in, but
how did I know, Greg?
Hold on a second.
At the end of Shy Fans, we have a drop from last call where you're like talking about how you have the most best English from last call, but you haven't even heard it.
I will hear it.
No one listens to that fucking show.
That was good. I'm sorry. You're not fucking laughing at that. I don't even know where you live if you don't laugh at that. That was
we have a bunch of listeners, and I'm fairly certain that Joe has like his whole family listening to our show. I don't think it's
you guys are a good show. You got.
I don't know. We're working
Listen,
on it.
I listened to the guy from the Chiefs, the neighbor, talking about himself in the third. I go,
I'm stressed out now because we're getting to the off season. We don't have games to talk about anymore, so we got to step up our game like you guys.
Absolutely.
We're not going to be able to make
The
songs
only
about
one
Phil
that
every-
listens is Joe's wife.
I listen back. Too. That's one of those.
Shy Fans. I admit, I listen to Shy
No, you
Fans.
don't.
Yes, I do.
So you should try talking streaming TV, Greg.
When are you going on? When are you going to go on? I have a stream, Greg.
He's turned me down twice already.
I'm sorry.
He's bragging you.
I do the swim classes with
West
my daughter
Virginia.
on Thursdays, and then last week that's what they did. It's a lot of fun. My little daughter Addison, she's coming up on 2 years old. We're taking her in the pool, and I literally have to like submerge her 6 feet underwater, and she pulls this ring out. And the first week, I'm like putting her down. Yeah, it's crazy, but they learn, dude. It's wild. There's kids that are even younger than her, and
a swimming academy.
Yes, and it works. Like it's a step-by-step
fucking scuba
process.
diver over
Yeah,
here.
it's like a step-by-step process. You do a little bit each week, and the first week
you shove her
kinda get them
down under
acclimated
the
with
water?
The second week, you submerge her once, and then bring her back up. And the third week, you take her all the way to the bottom of the pool, and she's supposed to pull a ring out. And Addison, she got it 1 of 3 times the third week. In the fourth week, she got it all 3 times. And she's literally throwing the ring back into the pool
If
and
someone's
I'm taking
tuning in right now, they're fucking like, what is he talking about?
No shit.
Down.
No, it's awesome. Like the first week I was so scared, and the swim teacher was like, no, you got to keep her down there for a minute. And I was like, no, I'm not going to drown my daughter. And they were like, they got to get acclimated. And I'm telling you, by the third week, she's like a fish in the water. It's incredible how babies can evolve like that.
That is tremendous. Oh, by the way, Laura wants to say something here.
I Have a Stream is my favorite show. I would suck John's dick, not Joe's. John's dick is the one to suck.
See, you got fans, dude.
What we should do is prank call Barb with that.
Okay, what should I type in?
We have to type up for an hour, though. We have to set it up and record all these responses. So we can't do it tonight because it will be too great. Like, hello, Barb. You hit me with your.
She was listening to it when I dropped her off. So. She might have still been listening. Hopefully, we didn't spill the beans here.
Yeah, the voice is better than me going, hello, Bob. You hit me in your car.
Something like this we would play for Barb. How about this?
Let's hear it.
Hi, Barb. Your son is a great guy, but no one listens to his show.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, driving home with your mom listening to 100 Proof when Aldo says he's disappointing in bed because he comes too quickly. I'll tell you what, it just gets real awkward on the way home, huh? That's when we have to kind of draw lines in the sand. It's like, man.
Say about this.
Captain Crunch rips the crap out of my mouth. I can't do it. It's delicious, but that's true. It hurts. That's true.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I give it cards.
Why did you give in?
He does that. He's so smart. He sounds so smart. He's like, when like a European person says something in their accent, you're just like, you're just so smart because you sound like they sound smart, like a girl with a British accent. That's how Cars is. He just sounds so nerdy that everything he says sounds smart. It's just
That's how George from England gets on Cap's show all the time.
Yeah, exactly true. Exactly true.
Exactly right, dude.
I am sorry, Barb. I will not come so fast.
All right, I'm going to put this acapella box away. It's getting ridiculous. All right, guys, let's go around the horn with some final thoughts on any topic you want. What do you want to talk about there, Mr. Braggs, that you ran up to?
What the fuck? You got to start with me. Shit.
Because you're the final guest. That's manners, Greg.
Just throw this at me like I'm witty and prepared. Do I look like Shayne Marsaw, the smartest man? Like, and just start coming up with something witty to talk about or funny?
Well, let's check it out.
This season was about regression.
Let's check in on
This show was about regression. As soon as I came on. That's what Larison was going to say. Let's talk about Jim Larison.
Hold on, let me text him.
Call him up.
It sounded like a drop when Tooch started talking. Wait, hold on, let me text him.
I can go if you want to think for a little while there, Greggy Sunshine.
Go ahead, Tooch.
Joe, you always have everything prepared. You're always prepared.
I got notes.
I was just going to say, he's looking at his notes.
I will defer to you, good sir, and then I will play off of whatever the hell you say.
It would have been better probably if Mike North is probably better at this than me, but Kirk Douglas passed away at the age of 103.
Oh my God!
Today.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that?
I knew this was going to come out of his mouth, Aldo. Didn't I text that to you?
I can't believe
we even slacked him.
Aldo.
We have breaking news.
Do we?
What Tooch just said. Kirk Douglas.
He was born dirt poor to Jewish immigrant parents from Belarus.
Mm-hmm.
Belarus.
Joined the Navy in 1941. He was born December 9th, 1916, famous for Spartacus, which was directed by Stanley Kubrick.
My man, Stanley Kubrick.
Did you know that, Aldo?
Greg doesn't know shit about that because that movie's considered too old for him.
Stanley Kubrick directed 2001, A Space Odyssey, which is where Aldo got that app, HAL 9000.
That's right. Here's a clip from the movie I Am Spartacus.
I bring a message from your master. Slaves you were, and slaves you remain. But the terrible penalty of crucifixion has been set aside on the single condition that you identify the body or the living person of the slave called Spartacus.
Which is played by Kirk Douglas, and so everybody who has fallen in love with Spartacus's leadership skills is now going to rise up.
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
And that is a special moment in movie history and something that Greg will never experience because nobody will ever say, I am Greg Braggs.
No, and they stole that line from a drummer in the movie That Thing You Do. I am Spartacus.
Oh, yeah, they stole it.
They stole it from a movie that came out 20 years ahead.
They stole that fucking line. Real fucking original. Already done. That Thing You Do. Great movie. And from the 90s, not from the fucking 70s.
Can you sing the song, That Thing You Do?
I can't.
Go ahead.
And you doing that thing you do. Make my heart do a million reasons like you always do. And you doing. That's all I got for you.
That was pretty good. Almost on the note.
Great movie. Tom Hanks. What an actor.
That Thing You Do. Somehow we're like paying tribute to a fallen actor. 103. Greg's referencing That Thing You Do. Years later. Unbelievable. Shayne's right about you. You are so hidden, so behind the scenes cloudy. You aren't Greggy Sunshine.
No, not. I've
You're
said this from the
Greggy
beginning.
Rainstorm.
You were the one that dubbed me Greggy Sunshine because I choose not to fight with every person that comes across my way. I'm not Greggy Sunshine. Most people know me as Greggy fucking Psycho. That's how most people know me. You know me as Greggy Sunshine because
whiskey.
I told you to be nice to people, and you're like, what? Why would I do that when I can make a fucking song about them and rip them to shreds?
Exactly. And I will never
so disappointed. This is the
Hollywood-
worst show ever.
We are working on a song, by the way, Aldo, that Greg is actually singing, doing that thing he do.
Damn, I can't wait for that. I'm sure Shayne can't either, the poor guy.
If I do the songs, they're less than 2 minutes.
Hey, a much better scene of Kirk Douglas acting is from the movie that really inspired me when I was a kid to get into the television, radio, and movie business. It's a movie called Paths of Glory. It's a great movie. I'm going to tell Greg Braggs, you've got to watch this movie. It's an anti-war movie. Kirk Douglas plays a
Colonel Dax.
Colonel Dax. Oh, my man.
Another Stanley Kubrick movie.
Exactly. Another Kubrick movie. And in this scene,
I've never seen it.
He is being accused of defending 3 soldiers who were killed in a firing squad, defending those soldiers for his own political gain, but he wants to set his superior officer straight, and here is the scene.
Would you like me to suggest what you can do with that promotion?
Colonel Dax! You will apologize at once or I shall be placed under arrest.
I apologize for not being entirely honest with you. I apologize for not revealing my true feelings. I apologize, sir, for not telling you sooner that you're a degenerate, sadistic old man. And you can go to hell before I apologize to you now or ever again.
just an extraordinary performance. Kirk Douglas as Colonel Dax, and as Tooch rightfully said, this is a Hollywood icon. Not only was he a great actor, but he was a great movie producer. He took over movies and elevated himself to producer status because he wanted control. He wanted the movies to have a certain special. He just wasn't spitting things out like a lot of actors do. He really loved the craft, and that's a big thing. And his son carried on in his way too. His son made movies, and I'm sure maybe Greg has seen a couple of his son's movies at least.
Yeah. There you go, boys. I love it.
A movie's old when it sounds black and white.
Oh, you sound like my wife. My wife is the same way. She won't watch a black and white movie with me.
I love black and white movies.
Me too.
Anyway, I really think there's authenticity in it, but I know what Greg's talking about. It's like they spoke a different way. Like, man. Yeah.
People spoke differently.
They always had like this short talk. Like, we're going to do this thing, right? We're going to get after it. Gonna get it done. Man, imagine Greg talk. What's up, man? How you doing?
I don't talk like that.
You do. For sure. We'll figure it out. But then those guys that, hey, there, Corporal. What's going on, Charlie? There's a bad storm coming.
I think you guys were talking about Gunfight at the OK Corral last week. That was also a Kirk Douglas movie.
Yes, it was.
Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas.
Barbara historian status. Lane Shayne.
104. Is that what you said?
103. Yep.
I want to live.
Yeah, it wasn't that old. Come on.
That's grandfather's 100 years old.
Your grandfather is, Phil?
Oh, Steph's, my wife's
that's
grandfather.
right. I saw the pictures of you
he
guys
was in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that, and he's a good dude. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. Life is crazy. Everybody's going through shit.
Yeah, no shit.
That's why I break people's balls, Greg. It's not mean. It's only mean if you're a big, giant, fat fucking pussy. That's the only way you can ever take it. As I break your ball. Does anyone have more drops than you, Tooch, and Joe, and Dan? Exactly. It's like, I go, Aldo, let's have Tooch and Greg on the 2 drops. It's all, you guys are drops. You came on the show and gave fucking Shayne such a great drop of you saying what you said. I can't wait for Shayne.
Not even repeating what I said. I don't even remember what you're talking about.
Oh, come on. Say it one more time.
Plenty of drops from tonight's show.
Yes, no shit.
It's from a fucking Simpsons episode when Bart used to call into the fucking bar and he would trick the owner of the bar.
What was his name?
He would get him to say Mo, right?
There you go.
He would call Mo up and he would ask.
You could have won a Kobe Bryant fucking magazine had you been here.
Is Amanda hug and kiss, there?
What,
and then
what does he say?
Amanda, he would say, I'd like to speak to Amanda hug and kiss. And then Mo would come off the phone and turn to everybody and go, hey, can I get I want to speak to I want Amanda hug and kiss. Hey, can I get Amanda hug and kiss? Everybody would be like, oh, like what was the guy sitting at the bar? Barney would be like, if you try hard enough, you can get one. I don't know. Hey,
you are Barney at the bar. Look at
no,
you.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
That's my pops.
Yep.
Can I get Amanda hug and kiss? Everybody would be like, oh. Hey, can I get Amanda hug and kiss? Hey, can I get Amanda hug and kiss? Yeah, you're so talented.
Instant drops.
Emmy Award
Insta drop. It's like a new app. Insta drops.
Yes,
100 proof. We should put that into an app. Alex Acevedo can make an app, just Insta drops, and put them out in the next 12 minutes.
Hey, can I get Amanda hug and kiss?
There it is.
Hey.
Hey.
I sound like such a fucking idiot. I cannot believe people listen to me. Hey, can I get Amanda hug and kiss?
It was a real heavy lift for our staff, so they did a great job.
Heavy lift.
Heavy lift. Why don't you come out and lay some stone out in the cold? I'll show you what a heavy lift is, Ted.
Hey, can I get Amanda a hug and kiss him?
All right, Greg. Johnny gave us Kirk Douglas. What do you got as a final thought before we close shop here?
I never have any final thoughts. I want Shayne to get better so we can actually have some wit, and some class to the show. Because you bring me and
kissing his ass now.
yeah, I gotta try to because I know it's coming. I know next week it's coming, but so I just want Shayne to get better, and his son Riley. I know they've been sick the last few days. I don't really have anything for you guys. I was. I wanted to come on earlier, but the roads were so busy. So you guys did a great job, Tooch. Even though you didn't want to ask any questions, you just wanted to talk about him as if he wasn't in the room.
Phil's always telling me to hype. I need hype. I had hype coming out of my ass there.
No, you were the hype man.
You were Flavor Flav. You were Iowa's DeCaucus Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about this guy right here.
Me and Phil have been trying to get all this.
You guys know what caucusing is? I didn't know before I moved out here.
When I watched this shit on the TV the last few days, I realized how little I knew about what caucusing is.
Right, I didn't know before I got out here.
Come meet me at Portillo's and let's get it on.
Adam
What's the caucus, Aldo? Real quick.
A caucus is different than voting. A caucus is every political candidate running in that primary has a area of the room, and they are trying to get the voters to come in and talk with them about their candidate. After they talk, they then choose whether to support that candidate or not, or the person can then move on to the Elizabeth Warren or to Bernie Sanders.
Are they all going on at the same time?
Right, exactly.
So it's bouncing from hotel lobby room. Is that where they're going, or they're big stadium?
These different caucuses are all held at one location. So one could be at the high school gym, and that represents that district of Iowa, and then another one could be at a hotel lobby or whatever. And so the idea is that it's more interactive. It's not just going into a private voting booth and making your selection. It's about interacting with other people and debating, and then finally making a choice on who you want to support.
How long until it's going to come to how many likes on Twitter after they're talking? It's like, what are they doing? How do they leave from one?
Results, but,
what happens if you choose the Tooch caucus area and you're like, this fucking guy doesn't even ask a question?
I was caucusing for myself, trying to get people to vote for me to come to replace Shayne Marsaw. Phil's always telling me to hype. I need hype. I had hype coming out of my ass there. Insta drop.
Insta drop is
Tooch, you've been insta dropped.
That's what we're gonna call it. Tooch, you've labeled it. I love it.
I like it.
Phil's always telling me to hype. I need hype. I had hype coming out of my ass there.
I'm not sure. Which one do you like better, that one or this one?
Hey, can I get Amanda a hug and kiss him?
Phil's always telling me to hype. I need hype. I had hype coming out of my ass there.
You can't even be sure who it is. These voices could be anybody.
Trust me. The way I'm going to fucking produce that, people will know it's you.
I like the HAL 9000 the best. The ass.
You like the HAL 9000? I like to masturbate in public.
All right.
Here's what I'll say.
Okay, please give me something. Jesus.
I got it. Here's what I'll say. Everything I heard from Kyle along the last couple days and what you guys brought on the show today, it's going to be a long off season. The Super Bowl just ended. The Chiefs are the champs. We thought we were the team of destiny, and unfortunately, it was the Chiefs. They were a little closer to the mountaintop than where we were in 2018, and we got smacked off the mountain. But I see a team that can bounce back. So don't come to me with bullshit about, we didn't draft Mahomes and Watson. That conversation is fucking dead and tired. come to me with solutions, and that's what this network is for. We got the free agency coming up and then the draft, and then we're going to see where the chips lay. But to bang our head against the wall about, what Mitch is every fucking week, it's done with. We're going to see next year.
Exactly.
And it is what it is. You hear the players say, the guy's got the intangibles and can get it done. He's made the checks. He can do the things. There's been problems around him. How about we fix some of those problems? Well, and if the GM and the head coach make a move, so be it. But we don't know if that's going to happen. But, to sit here and, play the chatterbox game, and beat a dead horse, it's pointless. It's a pointless exercise. It's going to be a hell of a lot longer offseason than it was last year. And thank God we have a fun Barroom Radio Network where I can get drunk and have fun with you guys like we did tonight.
Wow, you haven't sound so
good.
clear ever. Right?
And
that was really good.
Clear and eloquent and inspiring.
The fucking Jack. It's the
No, it's you being prepared on our show.
That's
Good
right.
job.
Is that Coke Zero?
Cherry Coke. No.
He doesn't do what I do, Tooch.
I'll drink
guy-
Diet or Coke Zero. I was going to call on my way home and then order from
Arby's?
from a fast food joint and not on mute, because anytime I talk to Phil, if I talk to him, I got to mute when I order my food because they'll fucking fat shame me, dude. That's some bullshit.
Every time, Aldo, he puts me on hold. I know he's at a fucking restaurant.
A few times I did. He's like, oh,
where are you at?
That's when you're out working, laying brick. You got to have, eat quick.
Carbohydrates.
Get back to,
You still can pack a lunch, Tooch. You ever fucking hear that shit?
That's some
jackass?
bullshit.
I do.
That's some bullshit.
We have a subsidized cafeteria at my work.
Insta drop this.
That's
This
some
guy-
bullshit.
I'm not fat shaming anybody. I'm saying
Pack a lunch.
this guy goes through the McDonald's drive-through a lot more than Trump is feeding those fucking champions. Let's talk about that.
That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit.
Every time, Aldo.
I gotta stop. I do. It's coming to a breaking point. I gotta get my ass back in the gym, and maybe Phil can motivate me. I don't know. Maybe we're at a tipping point.
I think Trump's Whopper got torn up by Nancy Pelosi, shredded.
That's some bullshit.
Fucking Andy Reid's talking cheeseburger, double cheese. It's time, Greg. I think it's time.
Double cheese. See, you don't even know what the fuck that is, Phil, because you're from the East Coast.
I know
and
what
you
a
don't
double
know.
cheese is.
No, but that reference. When
Double
I say
cheese is
when I
double
not shut up.
cheeseburger.
When I say double cheese, Aldo knows what I mean, but you don't, because you're from the fucking East Coast, the least coast. You're not from. You always knock shit on the Midwest. Yeah, that's from the fucking Billy Goat Tavern.
That's
I know. Cheeseburger. I know, bitch ass. See? I would have won a Kobe magazine.
I heard you
That-
talking to fucking Rodney. Oh, yeah, I'm from the East Coast and you're from here. You always gotta say.
We have to do a better job, Greg. You learn something from me. You got to set the stage and react to the picture. Bring the person out.
You got to hype it, Greg.
Cheeseburger.
You're right.
Cheeseburger.
You are very good at painting the picture.
That's what I have to do. I wanted to see, did this kid's personality come out, Aldo?
It did. By the end of the interview, he wanted to hang longer.
Yeah, he did. He
He'd
did.
like to. for God's
I
sake.
was kicking him out, and he's like,
How could you not?
I was kicking him out, and he's like, yeah, and I streamed this, and you want to hear what I stream when I'm fucking masturbating?
Phil's always telling me to hype. I need hype. I had hype coming out of my ass there.
Hype coming out your ass. What's that smell like?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
I don't know. Ask Shayne. We'll ask Shayne.
All right.
I don't even know. I don't even want to know.
This show is great. I live for this. I live. Every day, though, seriously, throughout the week, we'll get more listeners, and they're like, dude, thank God I found this show. Thank you so much. So there's some people that like what we do, Aldo, and have a good time and a laugh. and then there's fucking Barb complaining.
Barb? Why is Barb called?
Yes.
Because of my...
She was upset with you coming too quick. Probably wanted more out of you than that, Aldo. Did she get upset when I was like, you go first, then you go hard? Was she upset with that part?
It was that, and then at one point, you guys were talking about jerking off, and that was a really awkward
That
moment
was
in the
not
car.
me. That was too...
Lane Marsaw. It was not me.
Too quick. Probably wanted more out of you than that, Aldo. Did she get upset when I was like, you go...
I tried to get her to win
then
the
you
contest
go
to Chad by feeding her
Yeah.
lines.
Right.
When she got, who Kobe Bryant dropped 81 on. The Raptors, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. I actually forgot that one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Jalen Rose. He dropped all 81 right on Jalen's head.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, Jalen Rose.
Oh, I'm a huge motherfucking Barfly.
I kind of blocked that out of my mind because I didn't want...
Nobody did. He was like the first player to ever be booed in a Bulls uniform relentlessly for doing. He just didn't. He didn't even do anything to anybody. Just the rivalry was still running deep back then.
Yeah.
The good old days.
Oh my gosh.
Back when the Midwest ruled, Phil.
I love the Midwest. Why do you think I'm on this fucking show?
Absolutely.
Just pointing out truths, Greg.
You're on this show because you make good songs and.
Oh, I got a
break down the
compliment.
Finally,
tape.
a compliment.
I got a couple compliments out of this.
Break down the tape good and
trying to get Larison to like him.
You're a good conversationalist.
All right, speaking of conversationalists, Phil,
Yes.
give me your final thought.
My last thought. I thought Greg was going to steal it, but I'm grateful that he didn't. But he did. You did a great job, Greg. I will give you that. But you mentioned Kyle Long, and this show is based on the reality of Chicago media being such a negative force of writing narratives instead of giving real truths. So my thoughts here, in just the paraphrasing that you've given me, in some of the audio that I put together in the beginning of the show, Greg, I don't know if you heard, you were at the game, of Kyle Long and Chris Sims, but I want more Kyle Long in the Chicago media. Guys that are going to come from a heartfelt place of truth, that they don't hold punches, that they handle themselves professionally and empathetically, but at the same time deliver the kind of X's and O's and analysis that this network stands by and why this show was born. And when I hear what Kyle was speaking, the harsh truth to the frat boy, white boy producers that don't believe shit and have fantasy football drafts every fucking day, live and bet and gamble, speaking to all those fucks that were offended by J-Lo shaking her ass and Latino history and all the other shit that they missed. But everybody, every ignorant fuck out there, this show's not for you. It isn't, because we keep it 100 here. We do. And Kyle Long, from what I've heard, is doing that for Chicago. And for me, that is my final positive thought here at Bears Bar and Bears 100 Proof.
I love it, man. That was nice. I want to just thank Mark Egan for being on.
Yes.
And Mark is like I don't know. I want to say maybe the 5th or 6th Barfly that we've had on since the end of the season, who has just brought it. You know, I think it was Zach.
They're bringing it.
Yeah, everybody that we brought on was just been a great guest, and Mark was funny and knowledgeable. So lots of thanks to him. I also want to do a little shout out to my main man, Shayne Marsaw, who has. Who is under the weather, his son Riley under the weather, his wife has been under the weather. It's been a Marsaw virus thing happening over there. Hopefully they are feeling better and and we'll have him back next week. I am going to be in Arizona next week, so the guys will take over, and I'm sure the show will be even better without me, because it always is, especially when Greg Braggs is on, because Greg is a very special guy.
A jackass.
And a big shout out to Johnny Santucci. Tooch, man, you brought it today.
Tooch.
Everybody will be talking about how terrible you were at interviewing, but they will overlook all the other gems that you brought to the show, and you really were outstanding in many respects. I really appreciate you, brother, and helping Phil out as his associate producer has been a godsend, brother. It really has.
Speaking of which, at the end, can you play Santucci's Mandel song?
Oh, yeah.
He produced.
It was like I wanted to have like if Joe was like having conversations with like himself or clones or whatever. So it was like a room full of Joes talking to each other. That was what I was going for.
This is what the Tooch brings to the table. We asked him to do a little something, and he brought. Do you want to play it now, or do you want me to do my shout outs, or them do their shout outs? We'll play it at the end. How do you want to play this?
Let me play it now. This is it, right, guys?
I'm just ready for a drink. I don't know about you, man. Amen to that, brother. There you go, man. Well, let's just get rocking and rolling through it, shall we? Knocking it down, breaking it down, going nuts.
You literally just pulled the audio from the start of our show yesterday.
Mediocre bear season. Mediocre bear season.
It sounds like a 1980s porn.
That doesn't make any sense.
There's some I have stream drops though too.
Shamalama ding dong. That doesn't make any sense.
So
that is hysterical.
So Harry Easton got fired.
For all you guys listening, we'll be back next week. We don't know what day, but we're gonna be back.
Joe will laugh at anything negative.
Nothing for you. Nothing for you.
That laugh right there.
Beautiful.
Always a man.
Amen, baby.
Hey, did you hear your
Amen,
starting
baby.
quarterback's out?
Play up.
Captain Crunch rips the crap out of my mouth. I can't do it. It's delicious, but
that's true. That's true.
Hearts, stars, and rainbows, clovers, and balloons. What's the magic word again? Star Wars, the Clone Wars. What's the magic word again? Star Wars, the Clone Wars.
Driving down the street with Mandel and his wife.
Good
Joe's
Star
just
Wars
talking.
cooking right there.
That's how I see this. Like it's a sunny day.
Driving down Lakeshore Drive.
Stars and rainbows, clovers, and balloons. There you go, man.
Road is clear.
Stars and rainbows,
No
clovers, and
traffic.
balloons.
There you go.
That doesn't
man.
make any sense.
There you go.
I'm just ready for a drink. I don't know about you, man. Amen to that, brother.
Greg's in the
There
back.
you go, man. So let's just get rocking and rolling
Do
through it, shall we?
on impression of Joe Mandel. It's
Knocking
hilarious.
it down, breaking it down, going nuts.
Knocking it down, breaking it down, going nuts. The best was the one you missed, Tooch, when he's like, yeah, what's up? I'm a fan, and I got my fan from another man.
I don't have that.
I was
Did you
so
send it to me?
scared that day when he said that. My man from another fan and another man. I was so nervous of what he was going to say.
So how did
I know
Tooch miss
Shayne
that
and Phil
I
are
missed that one.
circling like sharks ready to take whatever stupid thing we say, turn it into something.
Man from another man.
After a while, you stop worrying about that, Greg. You just go with it.
Yeah, you just go with it.
Brother from another mother, Joe took fan to another man from the motherland.
I had to think about it for a second.
Oh my God. We should write a song about that.
Oh, yes. All right, Phil, tell me who you want to shout out, what your final thoughts are, anything at all that comes to mind.
My final thought, I said, but I got to shout out Mark Egan, Shayne. I hope you feel better. I know the whole family's sick over there, so yeah, we missed you tonight, but blame Shayne. John Santucci came through. Blame it all on Shayne. Shout out my man Serg Orts. This dude sent my sons a birthday gift.
Oh, how nice.
That's so nice.
Wow.
That's so nice. I want to shout out my boy Vito Faiello. Shouting out Bears Barroom all the time. EJ, Emmerich Jones.
Oh, yeah, my man.
Antonio Gal. EJ's a good guy. Jose Luis Castillo. Are you related to Juan? Tino Martinez. Grant Sims, who was in the chat.
Yeah.
Grant Sims. Bart Bruno from North Haven, Connecticut. It's only 10 minutes away. Rosario DeGangi. My boy, Zach Bradley. Zach is just a great. We got to get that kid on. Because I want to know what he sounds like and everything. I'm curious. My boy, Eric Edison. Justin Cody. Luigi Zaccarelli. We should get him on too. We got to get Barfly. We're going to do some trivia. We're going to do, yes, Greg update has still not sent the bobblehead. Such a bitch. Like, oh my God.
But one of the greatest songs was born from this.
You got stuck too.
Man, I've been singing it for like 3 fucking days in a row now.
Dude, I can't get the bobblehead song out of my head.
I know.
3. I thought it was Dan Aguirre texting me again. It was like 3 in the morning. Like, what is this?
I was like, damn you, Phil.
Where's my bobblehead?
Exactly. Where's my bobble? Lawrence W. on Facebook is always shouting out.
Yeah. I'm keeping it real. No homo.
Quest.
No homo. No homo, Greggy.
Still holding the bobblehead.
Where's me a bobblehead? Yo, he promised me a bobblehead.
Where's my bobble?
He promised me a bobblehead.
Where's my bobble?
He promised me a bobblehead. Where's my bobblehead?
Alex Acevedo deserves a shout out. Roger Foster. Anthony Walker. Josh Lang. Where's my bobble? Jeffrey Williams Jr. and Sr. deserve a shout out. Gotta shout out my boy Rel Remy.
Yes.
Shout out. The tape never lies. Jehovah Texvic. Jamal Beverly. Anthony Vallejo. My boy Sandy Tom's birthday today.
Oh, Sandy! Happy birthday, brother!
Sandy, my favorite Scotsman.
Wait, this fucking guy could put himself on mute when he's opening shit because it's so fucking loud. Look at him. He's opening up the bobblehead for those of you listening on the pod.
He's got it out of the box. Nice.
Oh my gosh. Such a jealous moment. Chris Gonzalez. Adam Lovejoy. Got a couple more. Louis Asinomas. Where's my bobblehead? Rick Giovacchini. Mark Vergolto gets a shout out. My nephew, Cody Vergolto. He's having a baby, ladies and gentlemen. He's having a baby. I want to shout him out. It's going to be a dad. And then Jay Turns and J.R. Necrone deserve shout outs. That's it. Bears fan for life up in upstate New York. That my boy Jablinski. I love that. Jay Jablinski.
I love that name. That's a
my
Chicago
last
Bears name, Jablinski.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Give me a Pollock tight end running down the middle.
Just knocking the shit out of defenders.
Awesome. I love that.
Well, I think that is time now to turn out the lights at the old bar room. 100 proof. Again.
Man, I don't get any shout outs.
got a last word. The last word was a shout out. You want shout outs? Go ahead. Go ahead with shout outs.
Oh, right, man. I want to shout out Joey of Two Scoops, my radio son, for always being there for me. I want to shout out the masseuse who gives Aldo that happy ending.
Oh, yeah.
Same one that Robert Kraft goes to.
No, definitely not.
Cal Long for shredding people, chewing them up and spitting them out. I want to shout out Shayne and his family to get well soon, and Greggy Sunshine for always being that positive force. And all the barflies. Love all the barflies.
Man, very eloquent there.
AJ Dillinger, my boy. I gotta shout him out.
And Lame Marsaw. I got to shout out that guy.
Lame did a good job.
Lane did a great job. Hey, Greg, I'll ask you. You want to shout out anybody?
You got a shout out, Greg? Freedom Gaines, a little Tyler Gaines style.
Yep, shout out to Gaines. What's up, Gaines?
Yeah, man.
Miss you, buddy. Fucking Freedom Gaines. This dude, here, I'm going to take a shot to Freedom Gaines right now. This dude, if there's anybody more fucking positive than me, it's this dude. This guy exudes positivity.
For
His
sure.
positivity is such a strong force. It makes his muscles bigger, I swear to God. So here we go. Shot to you. Here's
Look
to you.
at this. He's doing it live, Gaines.
Jack Daniels and Cherry Coke. He started with the Cherry Coke, then went to
Look
the
at
Jack.
him. Oh, he's chugging.
Ooh,
He's chugging.
shit.
That was a tough one. Gaines.
You're not
Here
li-
at the bar room. It's the first time. I figured this time I'd get drunk. It's the bar
You're not laying bricks
room,
tomorrow.
you know, and I always sound like I got. Nope. That's why I drink.
Day off.
Nice.
He planned it
Me
well.
and Phil will be doing our lunchtime special around 11. So tune in for that. But no, shout out Joe Mandel, my co-host from Shy Fans in the Stands. Shout out to shout out to all our loyal listeners: Mo Bierman, Zach Sullivan, Alex Acevedo.
He's the best.
These guys, I'll tell you what. Maybe I'm missing a few, and I apologize if I am. But you know, I'm telling you, just a few of these guys are literally in every single show. And, you know, it's not a competition. We appreciate all the support we get from little to big. But some of these guys are in every show. And like I said, I can't even get fucking Aldo and Phil to listen to my goddamn show. So
I
listen to your show, Jack.
Kidding. It's a goddamn show. What the fuck? You make
Shout
one
out
show.
Ed Loya.
Ed. Shout out to you, Ed.
There you go.
So shout out to all the loyal listeners. We're going to have fun this offseason. We're going to see if Joe and Greg can keep it fresh and fun. And if not, then 100 Proof Gang will just make fun of us every week until we get to the regular season because, you know, now that training camp's gone, I'm fucking utterly worthless here. So I appreciate all you guys.
We're going to get you a drone. You fly that drone up to Lake Forest, Greg.
It's true. All
Hey,
right.
There's Barham,
Rusty
there's
Hartman.
Barham drone.
Rusty Hartman, I hear
Bill
you.
and I were saying we should
Oh, yeah. Tell
put
Aldo
to rest
this idea.
Bourbonnais. We should have a Bourbonnais football game in the spring where we all meet up and it's the final, like it's our send away to Bourbonnais. And then we all get
send
drunk
away
at that
to
point.
Bourbonnais.
Send away to
Aldo and I have to coach, I think,
Bourbonnais.
on the sidelines. I might have a heart attack if I'm running
Tooch looks
patterns.
like a center, but he plays like a gay. I'm sorry.
My playing days are probably well behind me.
Shout out to my wife for letting me use the computer
Oh,
room.
shout out to Jenny.
I don't
She
get
is-
so I
she
don't get
is-
staff.
Let me say this one thing, Aldo.
Okay.
Greg is really a good person. Seriously. In all seriousness, I've told Jim, listen, do you trust me as a football analyst? I hope you trust me as a life coach. And Greg is a great guy and a great sport, and so is Tooch. But Greg's wife must be a fucking saint. This motherfucker's at every game. I don't... My wife's like, how does he do it? He goes to every game. He's always at a game. So, hey, more power
Shot
to
fans
Greg.
in the motherfucking stands.
That
You're
is
mu-
damn
Yes,
right.
you really live it.
Shout out to Jenny. She's a saint.
for putting up with that fucking
I'll
blue-eyed,
take creepy for 5,000, Alex.
blue-eyed bandit over there.
All right, I want to let people know that we've got a handful of Vegas Scores and Odds Advantage shows left before we go on hiatus with that show. So tune in and say hi to Mike. We're going to have some fun over the next 3 weeks. And Draft on Tap, Thursday night, 8 p.m.
Thursday.
Our scheduled guest is Arif Hassan from The Athletic. He's going to talk about the NFL draft. He was down at the Senior Bowl, so he had firsthand look at a bunch of the players down there, and he writes for that great publication, The Athletic, so that should be fun. And we got a lot more stuff going on. If you want to stay on top of what's going on with the Bears free agency, with the draft, it's Bears Barroom. Don't listen to these other podcasts that they don't know who is the new offensive coordinator. Just kidding. You can
got sources.
Yeah, you can listen to those guys. We love them because we love to make fun of them, I guess, is why we love them. But remember,
give a lot of material.
That's right. And then I wanted to shout out one other person, and I'm forgetting who it was.
Was it your wife, Donna?
No.
Yeah, when my mom was listening to you talk about coming and jerking off, she's like, "Is he married?" And I go, "Yes."
My wife has no clue that I'm cavorting here on Bears 100 Proof in the manner that I am.
If you drink, do not drive. And always bear down.
That's the one that
There you go.
That's it. All right, fellas. I love you all, and I will talk to you all soon.
Yo.
Feel better, Shayne. And don't forget to wipe your ass.